Hello, everybody. No starting soon screen today because I kind of we're doing a little. Oh God, that scared me. Jesus Christ. Don't. Sorry if I'm like distracted. We're setting things up. Hey, TV. I don't know if you saw that on your end, but I did roll. I rolled a 21, so. Oh, I am very excited to play. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, I'm just gonna make a quick Twitter post. Uh, but where is it? I know I did it like earlier today, or was it last night? I did it or something. Ah, here we go. Um. Okay, you saw the roll. Perfect. Yeah, last night. Yeah, I found it. I just quote retweeted it saying that I was live. Perfect. It works. I'm gonna bring up my chat overlay here, just so that I can recheck, because I will probably not have OBS window active while we play. There we go. Perfect. Uh, let's get some tunes going on here, actually. While we wait. Uh, we need something dungeony. Hey, Tiffy, do you have a link to like a good uh playlist for like Dungeons and Dragons stuff? Cause the normal chiptune music that I play, I don't think would be very fitting. One sec. Got it. Take your time. Once we start, I can move over to my D&D screen, then get you guys all organized in the call. Hey, Zip. How's it going, dude? Something adventure? Yes, I. Zip, can you do me a favor? More adventure, I think, would be a good thing to start. Um, If anybody comes in here and starts telling us how to play, can you please tell them to shut the fuck up? Oh, why is it playing double? Oh god. With pleasure. Alright, I appreciate it, dude. I don't know how long you're gonna be here for. I think we're gonna be playing for a few hours at least tonight, so for a first session. 13 months, baby. Hell yeah, let's fucking go. Thank you for the resub, Zip. Yeah, hell yeah. Hopefully stream doesn't crash. I think we'll be okay though. Hey, Arizona! Welcome! How you doing? But for sure, we didn't watch and shut up. Ari? Perfect. Ari it is. So, for those just joining in, I'm starting D&D for the first time, and I'll be playing with a couple of friends. So it'll be very exciting. I'm just waiting on some music, something chill, something adventure. Good. Just woke up. It is 6:23 a.m. for you. Oh wow, it's like 7:24 p.m. for me. Uh, all right, cool. Oh come on. All right, let's check this playlist out. Can I even copy that? I just happened to say hi. Well, I appreciate it. Have an amazing stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you for dropping by. I hope you have a lovely day. Let me listen to it first to see if I like it. Hold on. Yeah, this is more of like a battle music. I like it, but I think I will save this for like encounters. Yeah, if you guys could just scour around the YouTubes and see if you can find some kind of chill adventuring music, that would be great. I do like the one that you did send me though, Tiffy. That would be perfect for encounters. So for those that don't know, I based my character off of my model, off of my dude. Um. Okay, let's see. Check this one. It's a very long one, but it has more than one in it. Yeah, yeah. Let me just look through it. Group VC. I need to check. Let us know when you're ready. Okie dokie. I am just gonna do some sound checks here just to make sure everything works on my end. Make sure all my sources are ready to go. And I think... Let's go... Okay, that's where it should be. Let me just check. I am down. Wait, I am on fire. That's where it should be. Okay. I think I'm ready. Sup? What is Nexus no good? What do you mean by that? Yeah, I'm on fire. Yeah, I'm ready to go when you guys are. Hold on, I need to like go like that because switching to group VC then. Yeah, let's do it. We can do mic checks and sound checks and stuff while we're there, while we're in call. That way, yeah, I can turn people up or turn people down. Why is TTS not working? Bruh. Why is it not working? Harsh small one. It won't hurt you much. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I got some here that we can use. Oh, ad, please go away. There. This one I think is pretty good for adventuring. Then I have another one for encounters that we can use. Yeah. Colin? Alright. Hello.
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is there any way to pin my message? On your chat message, if you look over it, there should be a thumbtack thing. If you put your mouse over it, you should be able to do it. Oh, okay, you found it. Cool, perfect.
Also, I like how my ass is right over the fire. No pressure.
Okay, I'm gonna move you guys. I'm gonna make Callie smaller and put him on my desk.
Hast thou summoned me?
Yes, I have summoned you.
Good.
And then I'm gonna put Tiffy on my head.
Hey, whatever works.
I'm just gonna move myself over to the...
Hey yo, already getting sat on by the mistress.
Yes, no. You are now the DM's seat. Enjoy.
Hold on. I need to move myself a little bit more. I'm too far down.
It's okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Nice. Okay, so before we start, Nexus, do you have any, like, questions for us about things to do with your character sheet, things like that before we get started?
I don't think so. I might if things kind of come up and I don't understand, but right now I think I'm good.
Okay.
I figured out how to do the dice rolls, so I was going to ask that, but when you asked to do like a test, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it's always good to just kind of make sure that I can see everything too, because sometimes the system that we're using just decides to not work. So it's always good to just check and make sure.
Yeah.
So-
Let's see. Oh yeah, thanks for pinning that message there, Zip. No.
That will save me or Nexus from having to be like, no, this is his first game. Don't ruin it.
No backseat drinking. What if I'm thirsty?
I know I'm saying that just to be silly, but you know. And yes, I'm fine if I get a warning.
Your chat bubble. Oh, my chat thing is above my. Okay.
Yeah, and the chat is very, very small.
It's a little small.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's. I wanted to fit the little smoke thing, but it's tiny.
Yes. Yes.
But this whole overlay is just one thing. The candle isn't separate, so.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's appearing as it should. Yeah, it is small, but this is just a test anyways. This is just a first session, so I can adjust things as
Absolutely no worries. This is no stress time. This is just, getting used to stuff,
yeah.
having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
People take D&D way too seriously, and I'm just like, it's a game, y'all. Just relax.
Yeah, that chat is so small I can't even read it.
Yeah. I wish the candle was separate so I could make the chat bigger, but I kind of want it to fit in the box. Because if I were to make the desk bigger, it would be ginormous. It would cover like the. Wait! I want to see something.
I mean,
Nexus
Nothing.
now has
There you go.
enlarged
Actually,
reduce.
yeah,
There
there
you
you
go.
go. See, there you go. That's better. No.
There we go. Yeah, that works. Oh, but then I have to move over.
It's fine.
It's
You wanna,
fine.
like,
Oh, I know what I can do.
You could still stretch it the other direction. Yoink.
Here, let's do.
just sit Collie on top of the bookshelf. There you
Just how about put me on top of the fire. That way I can keep my ass warm.
Okay. You are one with the fire.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
no.
I meant on the table. Sorry. No,
Oh. Right
see
here.
that?
There you go.
Right in the space before the end. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
And they're just a little bit down because it looks like I'm floating.
Oh no.
Just a little bit down.
Okay. I think we're ready to
Also, the chat is still like way over over there.
Yeah. Hold on. I can fix that. That can go like that. That over there. I can make this a little bigger at least. There.
So that what I think may be good is maybe have the screen either where the castle is, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna put the playfield in the middle. Here where the
Sounds good.
yeah, I've got the window set up, it's just hidden so that
That's fine.
yeah.
Again, this is just kind of to get used to everything. I don't want you to feel like this is a super serial game of D&D. It's just for fun. Just
Yeah, yeah. Just for funsies, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
We can get into more serious stuff after later.
Mhm.
Also, it's nice seeing you in your 3D model again. Very nice.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna break out the 3D model for D&D, I think.
It looks very nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So once you have things where you want it, I guess we can just start then.
Yeah.
So I guess the first question that I will ask you as DM is, where would you like to start your story? Are we gonna assume that you're already up on the surface, or
Yeah.
are you still?
I think what we could do is we can do something like he can tell us his, maybe some of his backstory.
Well,
He's
yeah.
going to be starting off already on the surface. You know,
Okay,
kind of
well,
Yeah. Yeah, they're already on the surface.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
already kind of isekai, all that.
Yeah.
Already in another plane of existence from what things. But essentially, it's going to start out nice and easy.
mhm.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's fine. I was just gonna lead him into
There.
that.
There we go.
Just to decide, like, where he wants to say he's starting out, and then just like
Go from there.
introduce us to your life before ending up on the surface.
Yeah. So yes, please. So because it's so tell us in chat kind of what you're playing. Are you playing yourself? Are you like a representation of your character? What you doing?
Well, I am playing basically as a representation of my character, my model. I am a demon lord who is just kind of is a little sick of the underground.
Okay, fair enough. Sick of the underground, all right.
Yes, and I'm looking to get back into the swing of things, so to speak.
Yes. Okay. So, now that you have left the underworld, or however you want to reference that place where you come from, how much would you say you remember about how you got here to where you are now?
Do you wanna or do you wanna do anything like a
Actually, on that note,
have
Nexus, go ahead and give me a history check.
Oh,
Since
we're starting off.
Roll.
History, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Tiffy loves her.
Okay.
rolls.
I see that you got a natural 20.
Okay.
22 on the dice, so you remember exactly what led up to you being here. So
Okay, so then that says no insomnia dialogue with
what?
you.
Collie, I think you mean amnesia.
Oh wait, no, that's amnesia. There, yeah.
Insomnia, holy shit, how long have I been awake for?
Nandayanen. Smack. What do you mean you're
No. It's fine. Collie failed his recall check.
It's okay. I get the nat 1, so you don't have to.
So, with that roll, you are gonna have a lot of clarity about how you got from one place to another. So this means that you can give me whatever kind of details you want about how you got here, and just anything else you want to put in for kind of your backstory. Then.
So like anything. So that can include anything like any special magic that was performed in order to get yourself to out of the underworld.
However you want to do that with that roll, what that tells me is you have a lot of clarity and a lot of detail about this recent part of your life. So you get to fill it in however you want.
Okay.
Right. And so you can add, it could be anywhere from you did it this is something you did for yourself. You did
It could be something that
yourself.
It could be something that a special item allowed you to do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, any number of things. Like Holly said, it could be a ritual. It's just more like what kind of flavor you want. So that's up to you to determine.
Okay.
Or if there's a fixed location that you went to, it's like down in the underworld. That's like, I will go here and I will leave this place, and you know, any sort of other edgy.
You get to decide. You get to decide.
Okay.
Because that's your homeworld. So take your time thinking. You don't need to go like, oh my god, I need to know what I'm doing. Just have fun with it.
Give Chad and those watching a sense of like atmosphere. Give us some.
However you want.
How you transition from one world to the other, and the feelings that you had upon leaving the underworld, and then it's like I eschew all the rest of anything.
All right, Mr. Bard. Mr. Bard.
Mr. Bard.
See, I'm already getting into it.
Yeah, you're already getting into it.
Don't make me do all the work for you.
No, Collie, don't make me cast silence on you. Don't make me put in the ball gag.
Oh.
No,
Wow.
Later, mistress.
Boy, the underworld has gotten a little kinkier last time I remember.
Who knows? You know, and in fact, it could even be you might want to be escaping some intrusive thoughts.
Either way,
No, THOTs.
either way, Collie, let him do what he do.
All right, Nexus, take the reins.
So, I decided to leave the underworld because 1, the food was boring. 2, the drinks started tasting weird, and I don't think the bartender replaced them in months. 2,
Okay.
some weird mistress was hitting on me, and I was like,
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, sounds good so far.
Even though I said no, she kept nagging, and I just wanted to freeze her on the spot. What else? What else is there to complain about the underworld?
I don't know.
It smells. It constantly stinks like somebody died in there.
It's dark. It's dark and dank. It's kind of bleak, and there's
You can't see shit.
There's intrusive thoughts all over, and there's a guy named Bubba that wants to dance with me.
Oh no!
Oh, we can't forget Bubba.
Nexus, go ahead and make me a Constitution save. Your saves should be up at the top of your character sheets. They're in a very specific.
I see it.
zone.
Yeah, Constitution.
Yes. Okay. So you got an 11. So you're feeling all right after making the transition from the underworld to here. But you're also not feeling like super energetic either. So what do you want to add for details about maybe how you got from wherever you spend most of your time to where you are now?
Well,
Of course, we're leading up to obviously the what you see, obviously, right?
Collie,
That's
don't.
like,
Yeah, so we'll get there. I just want to fill this in because he had such good recall. So I want to give him time to set that up.
well, I've just been wandering topside for months and months, and I'm bored. I want adventure. And
Fair enough.
I feel like,
Um,
and I feel like, you never know, might run into some familiar faces even.
ooh, okay.
perhaps. What were we also? We were thinking maybe something like you can start your adventure the moment, just like all good isekis, right? You start out the moment when you first arrive in the new world, right?
I mean,
Exactly.
okay, so it's up to Nexus to decide. So I will say that after your journey from one plane of existence to another, you are feeling a little bit. You're feeling okay, but I'm gonna say it did kind of take a little bit out of you. Um,
Okay, and then starting the session so that you can have the map activated. So
yes.
for everybody,
And then if you want to have background music on, I think you do already, right?
I do.
that way. So,
Okay.
so Tiffy dear, if you can see the active map, then you can
Oh.
also use that to describe
Yeah.
kind of what he might see
Yes.
upon arriving in this new
Yes.
Earth.
So I will get there. I'm not gonna rush him though, Collie. So just hold your horses.
There we go.
Aha. Okay. So, um, Nexus, when you came to this world from your home world, did you bring anything with you of importance when you made the transition?
The
Did you
clothes
bring
on, just
a buddy with you?
the clothes on my back and my weapon.
Aha.
Yes, every good demon lord has to have a trusty weapon.
So go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
And of course,
Ooh.
Let's take a look.
oh, and
Oh, very nice.
you might want to shift your stream game to Dungeons and
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
because that's what we're playing.
No worries. So, Nexus, with your nat 20 Arcana, 24
Ooh,
on the dice, I will say that
very good,
part of
very good starting rolls.
yes, I will say that part of what you used to travel between the realms is your trusty weapon. And so, if you would like, you may describe now what that weapon looks like and what you typically use it for.
You know, I wonder if if you literally what you need to do to transition between the worlds is you hold your weapon aloft and you say the words, "I have the power."
Or maybe you just ripped time and space a new one. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like-
Well, you say that and you cleave a rift in space time and then you warp through it.
I
And then you
actually
just-
kind of like that.
And then you
Oh.
just step through it like a tear in clothing or something, you know? Cool imagery. Swing! But I'll let you describe how you do it so that Collie and I sit back and listen like good DMs.
So, this trusty weapon of mine is how I came to this world. And to do that, I literally tore a hole in reality. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey, Crusader. Don't worry if I don't answer messages. I see them though.
Yes.
But
I would know it's pretty hard to juggle chat and game at the same time.
It is, yeah. But I came to this world through opening a rift with my weapon.
Okay.
One of its many uses.
So, okay, that's good to know because then that means that will be potentially your ticket to other places. But we can't have that power happening all the time.
No.
Well, obviously. So, so we will say.
Because it probably takes a lot of power out of you.
Well, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I will say, as the DM, to be nice, I will say that because you were going from the underworld, which is your home plane, to this one, you were able to use the energies to make that happen. But that is the reason why your Constitution save was a little on the low end, because it did take a lot out of you to channel that much magic to literally rip reality a new one and step through and be in this other realm that you're in now.
Right.
If you would like, go ahead and make me a perception check. A perception check can be what you see, hear, smell, feel. It encompasses one or more of those senses.
Okay.
Okay, so with that perception check of 14, you will clearly be able to see, once the light kind of adjusts in your eyes, you will be able to see greenery around you and definitely some very tall looking plants. Go ahead and make me a nature check.
Okay. Oops, wrong window.
Oh, how's the light versus the underworld? The light is probably
Blinding. It's very,
Yes.
very blinding. It's something I'm not
Yeah, like-
used to.
you rip a tear and you open and you see a
I just get flashbanged.
flashbang, and then so you're temporarily subjected to maybe the blinded.
So what I want to do then is show you how rolling with disadvantage works. So typically what that means is when we roll with disadvantage, that means we roll a second time for the same check and take the lower number. So in this case, because you just said you're probably going to get flashbanged by the light, go ahead and roll me the perception check again, and if the number is lower, we shall see. Aha! Okay.
Ouch.
So now with that perception of 8, for a minute all you see is white. That's all you see when you step through the opening that you've made. So for a moment you're not going to be able to see much more than that until you sort of do whatever it is you do to adjust your vision. You can roleplay that however you want to say that you're kind of getting adjusted.
So also, if you look at your sheet, there, depending on whether you're doing the browser or whether you're doing it on another system, there should be a place right beside defenses that's called conditions. If you click that area, you'll see a list of conditions to potentially have, which are things that can affect your character. So.
Such as blindness or
Now
deafened or anything like that. So
now, just letting you know, these are temporary conditions. These are not what we would consider permanent, like afflictions, like a lost arm or a lost leg or
Right.
or anything else, or eyes that don't work. Anything.
Your audio is very low apparently. Hold on, let's see if I can turn you up in Discord.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I'll turn you up to like 170.
You should do 200.
Just max it out.
Max it out. Might as well.
put Kali at max.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My audio isn't working.
Also, good to see you, William. I'm very happy to see that you're here supporting a friendo tonight, even though we are not necessarily streaming on my channel. I thought that would be a good idea because I just felt like I know the rest of my friendos would probably show up, and I'm just like, you know what? I want this to be nice and comfy and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
So, just reading you what D&D Beyond says for the blinding condition, at least before the 2024 transition in September. It says a blinded creature can't see and automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. So that means any perception check that requires sight for at least, and then attack rolls against it have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So in this case, it means any perception checks that would be that involve sight will probably fail for at least a little bit.
Okay.
Right.
Until the blinded condition subsides.
Yes, we are doing 5th edition for right now because it's the one I'm most familiar with. They are going to be updating the rules, but we're not going to be getting there.
We're not going to
away
be.
because I'm not gonna get into my feelings on that right now. But yes, for now we are using 5th edition.
Taking a quick ad break.
We'll be right back. No, just kidding. But yeah, we probably should wait until the commercial's over in case
Yeah.
not everyone is subbed. Cause
No,
we
I
want
I
them
hate
to-
ads. I wish I could turn ads off, but it's Twitch, and Twitch does what the hell it wants to do, and blah blah blah.
I think you could change it in settings.
Twitch is such a widow company.
You can change it, but you can't really make it go away. I gotta mess with it a little bit to see how I can space them out better.
But that said, so far I'd say a good start.
Yeah, again, it's just, this is kind of, I've set this up to be a little bit like the tutorial level.
Yeah.
Just to be like, you know, it's just more to familiarize yourself with how things work. We'll increase the difficulty on things later, but
Oh, yeah.
really the point now is to just make sure that you're comfortable with how to find things on your sheet, how to use various checks, what various checks mean, all that good stuff.
Right.
Damn, from what this says, the scythe that you have already has like things that you're immune to blinded. So I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna say, for right now, just so that rule kind of goes through, here's how I'm gonna role play that as the DM. So, I will do this once we're out of the commercial break, which I'm still in.
Oh no.
Which I am out.
You know what I'm
Cursing
gonna do
hands.
about that? I'm gonna just...
After these messages, we are already back.
Every moment is a chance to create
No ads. God damn it, YouTube. I'm not logged into my YouTube account, so I'm getting ads for my music.
Aw, you subscribed.
Yes, I did. 1, because I don't want ads, and 2...
Thank you. Aw. Well, thank you.
Okay, so here's what I will say then. Because your scythe does have a feature that protects you from some of those conditions, I'm gonna say that momentarily you are not able to see very well, but I'm gonna say your scythe kind of puts itself in front of your eyes to kind of shade you.
Brother. Ew.
as if it's doing that of its own volition, which
Okay.
is not strange to you because
No.
Mr. Scythe has a personality all their own, and so this is not abnormal, but this is something that I'm gonna say your Scythe does to help you in this moment of not being able to see very clearly.
Right. Well, thank you.
So then, after you take a few minutes and your eyes sort of adjust, I will say that the first thing you see is a lot of green. Or let's say a different color. I'm gonna then ask you, Nexus, from where you normally come from, that color is not common where you are from, yes? Or would you say you've seen the color green before?
That's an interesting question. Has one who has always been in place of fire and brimstone, or at least as far as you think, kind of like your background, if it's always black, red, brown, and any other colors of fire, right? And the only lighter colors you see are either in
Oh
other
my god,
beings
can I
or-
voice your Scythe? Why not? I mean,
then color
but
color-
that's up to Nexus.
the color
mean-
green is probably going to be very rare.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I want Zip to voice my Scythe.
Sure. Yeah, because we're gonna have a him and Scythe dialogue.
I have just
Yes,
the
he is.
voice.
I can only imagine. I bet that's gonna be epic.
Because basically since he's a warlock, we have a and he's a hexblade, like mechanically, we have a kind of a Scythe and
Mhm,
warlock dialogue.
mhm.
So absolutely, Zip. If you want to be the
Scythe.
head voice, we were originally thinking that the Scythe was going to be, non-verbal. But if you want the Scythe to be verbal, you can absolutely be the voice.
I think it has to be. It has to be voiced by Zip.
That sounds good to me.
Zip, bet.
So I will say,
In his mind.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
no.
There we go.
You two will get to decide, however.
However
you
that
want
works.
to work that out.
Yep, you
Um,
can decide on that however you want in chat or outside of session, so that maybe if he wants to be there for that next session.
Yeah. Next session, if he wants to be in here and voice my Scythe, we can definitely do that, and we can voice in like the server.
Either
I'll
that
I'll make a voice channel, a D&D voice channel in my server.
Yeah, or if you do that, depending on how fast you can do that, we can possibly shift to that. It just depends if you want.
Yeah.
It's all in what you feel you're in prepared for. But otherwise,
Oh yeah.
we can certainly make that happen. We're not opposed to it.
Cool. I think that would be good. I think that would be good.
It's just going to be a matter of how fast.
Mhm. So I'm gonna say, for right now, you might hear the Scythe in your head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it sounds very vaguely familiar of somebody that you feel like you've known for a long time, and this voice has a lot of attitude and prestige, but also a lot of moody kind of ways of talking sometimes. So you'll hear the Scythe in your head sort of block the light from your eyes. While we're speaking on the color green, Nexus, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Okay.
This is gonna determine a little bit about how much you know of the human world. Okay, so I'm gonna say with that history check of 9, green is gonna be a new color, and it's gonna appear really bright and obnoxious to your eyeballs that are not used to seeing that color. Based on what's usually around you. So you're gonna have a moment of, what is that strange hue?
Why
of
does it look?
reaction.
Why does it look like snot?
Yeah, like, why does it look like that?
Ew.
So I will say you can have whatever reaction you want to with that. So as you're kind of looking around and getting
I'll
more
just-
of your
I'll
bearings,
just look at the ground, which is absolute disgust.
And on that note, go ahead and make me a charisma save. Okay, so as you sort of feel that and you feel like this feeling of like discomfort and disgust, you're able to keep yourself in check. You're able to just kind of look at it and take it in, and so even though it's gonna kind of annoy you, it doesn't really kick you over into this
Yeah.
whole other thing that you might want to do. So for now, you're feeling okay, but it's just kind
On-
of like, ugh,
on-
I'm not
on-
used to that.
On the outside, I may look fine, but in the inside, I am cringing.
So on that note, Constitution save.
Constitution save.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you managed to get a grip. So as you're looking at all this new color, I'm gonna say green, the snot color, is just the first of some new colors that start washing into your retina, and you're just kind of frozen there for a minute, sucking it all in, like,
The color
whoa.
green. Zip saying the color green is
These
your
are
enemy now. Color green is your
the
enemy
entire
now.
the entire color green is just the encounter itself. Everything, the trees, the grass.
Hey, a
Frickin-
ton back. Or
Hey, Tenback.
Nexus is doing his virginal D&D experience.
Yeah.
Read him gently.
Well, just like everything else, you only get one first time, so we're just trying to make this gentle. So as you're taking your time to adjust, I'm gonna say, because a lot of these colors are new, you might have been interested in the human realm or in this realm for a while, but I'm gonna say you haven't necessarily been a frequent enough visitor to have adjusted to any of this. So you're really gonna feel like this is all new and a little bit out of your element, so to speak. So what do you want to say you do now to kind of get yourself more familiarized? Now that you're kind of getting some time to adjust to the light, color differences, all that good stuff. And by the way, you can choose to move, do whatever you want. Typically, if we were playing with other characters, we might say, oh, a certain character has a particular movement speed, climb speed. That stuff is only important when we're doing like more orchestrated play where there's more players or there's like an encounter going on. But I'm gonna say that for now you have free movement per se, but you do have a fixed movement speed unless it's modified by another vehicle, a spell perhaps, or another feature that might enhance abilities. Outside of that, you have fixed movement speed, as well as other limits to how far an attack can reach or a weapon can reach, for example. But for now, I want you to just have
Yeah.
fun exploring and learning how to move your character.
So,
Okay.
So mechanically, since I'm a little bit more versed in the mechanics, so when it says something has a 5-foot reach, that means almost always it means the adjacent cubes right next to your character.
Right. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah.
We're not extending it so that you somehow. So when something has a 10-foot reach, it means 2 cubes over. So
Yes. So that
Uh,
means you could stand basically in the middle of one grid square and that your weapon would reach into the other square,
Okay.
totaling a 10-foot
yeah.
reach, but that will change depending on where you say you're putting your character. So if it's
Okay.
like in the middle of the square or like at an angle or at the edge of the square, it will kind of change what we mean by that 10-foot reach.
I
Okay.
mean, we'll try not to squiff it, but if
No.
I guess for the sake of keeping things simple, silly, then we're going to just have you stay within the lines for now.
Hmm.
Okay.
Just to kind of so that, but you can move diagonally, and
Okay.
that'll count that will count as one move of a 5-foot instance, even though yes, we know math is going to mean it's a little bit longer than that, but for the sake of board moving simplicity, that's what we're gonna
Right.
do.
So to just put this immediately into practice so you can feel it. What is your movement speed on your character sheet, Nexus?
Movement speed. Where do I?
If it's on the website, then it's right next to your proficiency at the top, right by your.
30 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the sake of this example, since every square is 5 feet, then it
That-
means you can move up to a total of 6 squares, but you can divide that movement however you want. So I have some players who are like, okay, I want to move up 15 feet, so use half of my movement, move up, do a thing,
Do
and
a
then
thing,
Okay.
and use the rest of it to
to
do
move
something.
back or move to the side or, do something else.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is this Roll20? No, this is D&D Beyond Zip.
Yes, this is the D&D Beyond's Maps Alpha.
And this is not because I'm, in bed with the wizards of a certain coast, but it's because I don't want to have to pay for my books all over again just to have it on Roll20. So there you go.
Oh yeah, he plays on Roll20.
I mean, Roll20 is okay. For me personally, I find that to be a little complicated. I also just don't like that I would have to repurchase everything when
Yeah.
I already have a lot
Yeah.
of content over here, and it's like,
Yeah, we already have like sounds of content over here that is just that would be just sunk money if we had to buy it all again. So, frankly, it's just like, we kind of have to do what we do.
Yeah.
Not
Nice.
that we support, What I mean, yeah, not like
yeah, it's fine.
Wizards of the Coast stands.
It's like not a problem, but it's good that you asked. No, you're okay, Zip. No worries. Anyway, so that's just to kind of give you a better visual, so you can go ahead and move around however you want. It's up to you.
Okay.
I want you to get used to exploring and
Yep. So if you
coming
want-
up with things that you want to do. So it's all yours.
Oh, and while he's there, does he find himself in anything like a smoking, smoldering crater amidst all this green because of the kind of the brown where he's at?
Oh yeah, I noticed too. It looks like I'm in a crater.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Nexus, go ahead and give me an investigation.
Stains and primers only at the Home Depot, and pros get up to 20% back in rewards with our Pro Extra Paint loyalty program. That's how pros do more. Visit homedepot.ca/bearpro.
So what an investigation check is exactly, well, it's exactly what it says it is. Usually, an investigation check will be used to put pieces of information together, or it will be used to get finer details
Mm-hmm.
about something. So an investigation check is usually used after a perception check to determine, okay, what more details do you see, or what can you piece together out of what you see. And let me check the rolls here. Sure, I can see them. Damn. Okay, so you got an assist 20. It's a little bit different than a natural 20, but it's still a really good roll. So you will begin to notice as you start moving around that you are in sort of this dry, kind of rocky area that you didn't really notice you were in before because of the light and all the green and all that other stuff that you were kind of paying attention to. You will notice that this is a little bit lower than ground level, so you will kind of see that you might need to climb up a little bit to get any further along on where you need to go, or where you would like to go in this case.
Well, I do want to check out those trees to the south.
Okay.
Sounds good. So,
See, we'll have to, depending on how deep is that crater?
How?
Yeah.
let me
You really have
actually
to spend. So this is also an example of what happens if there's changes in elevation. You know,
or
we'll
that you have
move-
to do some climbing. So let me actually roll a little bit of something. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit nice here, and I'm gonna say it's not too big of a crater. It's about
6 feet under.
sure.
It's only 1 cube down. It's fine.
Mhm.
So you shouldn't need to like do too much. You just might you just do a light kind of get yourself up out of it. You just might have to move a little bit extra just to
Okay,
get out of
so
it. But just
now
for the
that you
sake-
realize this, Nexus, how would you like to start climbing? What does that look like?
do you proceed out of this space? So you also, so as you notice, you have your the clothes on your person. You still have your trusty scythe. What are your initial and then you see this kind of interesting green, strange green looking vegetation all around you that is not native to the underworld. What's your feelings as you get through as you kind of collect yourself? I hate the color green.
Well,
That's
first things
as
first.
the scythe feels.
First things first. I really want to get out of this damn crater.
Mhm. Fair enough. So, describe for me how you would like to do that.
Well, I am going to take my my weapon. I will use it as leverage to hoist myself up out of the hole.
That's a clever idea. So, since you're gonna be doing that, I will say go ahead and make me a weapon attack with your scythe to say that you're gonna try to bury it in somewhere, and then go ahead and make me an athletics to see how well you pull yourself up.
So attack first.
Yes. Just to kind of simulate that you're gonna swing and try to lodge it in somewhere.
Yeah, it would be a kind of an athletics check, right? To, to kind of hoist yourself up, right?
So attack and then athletics, please. We'll see how well this works.
I attack the dirtness.
I attack the rock. Where do I use the rake? I'm gonna use this rake on the ladder.
Where do I use? Yeah.
This
Where
dirt,
do I
this
use
dirt hurt me.
This damn dirt! How dare you? Okay. Let me know when you made your. Okay. let
Yeah, I
me-
got it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that's good enough. For what you're trying to do here, you do manage to get the scythe somewhat lodged. But as you try to use it for leverage, it does kind of help you get off the ground, but it's not super effective, at least this first time, with that 11 acrobatics. You are able to get a foothold, but you do recognize that you're gonna need a little more help.
So I get up and I kind of just grab onto the dirt and just kind of hoist myself up the rest of the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you make a perception check as you're doing this, and two more athletics checks.
So a perception and 2 athletics.
Yes, please.
Perception. And then.
Wow. This is definitely a bigger hole than I thought. It's just like.
There.
This almost makes it feel like that he's 3 cubes down.
Okay, so you are gonna see some good places that are handholds and footholds. You're gonna see some little tufts of grass and little rocky places that it looks like you can grab onto. And I'm gonna say you are able to grab onto those and reasonably start climbing up.
All right, Nexus, feel free to move your character 1 cube to the right to represent yourself climbing up. Or 1 square. It's a square on a 2D plane, but you know it's
Yeah.
supposed to represent a 3D cube.
Okay, so
I think that would be 2 like that would be technically two cubes, but you know what? Let's just say you did.
I'm gonna allow it for now. It's more just to. I don't want to be super nitty gritty. It's mostly just to simulate how
It's-
gameplay.
It's just so that we all understand what the terminology means.
Yeah.
So that if I say 1 square, that means the adjacent 5-1 right next to his character.
Yes.
But in this case, so it's just so that we understand and we're on the same page
Yeah.
when we say when we say something.
Mhm.
All right. Cool.
So
Either way,
So-
you do get yourself out.
I will say that's enough for the purposes of this. That you do manage to get yourself out. It's gonna take you a little bit of time and effort, but it's not impossible to do. Go ahead and make me a perception check as you succeed in pulling yourself up out of this little crater type area. Okay. So you will again see kind of more green. You will see another bright color that seems to be what the sky is made of, what the heavens are made of in this strange new world. And you will also see these tall looking I'm gonna have you make me a nature check.
Oh.
Because I want to see how much you know. And I might give you advantage depending on what you roll. Okay, so you recognize that there seems to be some tall trees. And you recognize these because they look sort of similar in structure to the ones that are in the underworld, except they look a lot less
Dead.
gothic and emo and dead and twisted and gnarly. These
It's
look
like-
sunny and full of fluffy, nasty green again everywhere.
And I'm just kind of staring at it like, what the fuck?
Basically.
It's like trees.
What are
in
they-
the underworld.
What do
Is
they?
this is that the Minecraft Nether?
What do they do to my trees?
Why do
It's
they
like-
look like that?
The trees in the underworld in the Minecraft Nether are gray, like poop gray and red and emo red and all the and glowy all over. Right? It's like,
Yeah.
these colors are an affront to everything that I've seen up until this point.
Yeah.
They're not
So
supposed to be green.
So I'm gonna say you can have whatever reaction that you want to this, but you do recognize them as trees because they are similar, like I said, to the underworld.
Mhm.
So you're also gonna feel that your hands that you were kind of using to climb up, they feel a little bit sore. And so that's what you're gonna notice with that perception check as well.
All right, another ad break. So for those that are taking an ad break, after these messages.
Ooh.
We'll be
I'm actually-
right back.
I'll be like 5 seconds. I'm gonna turn a couple of lights on. It's getting dark in here.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, let's see. Just making sure, Tifa, are you able to see the zone or the map zone as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can not only see it on Nexus on his stream, but I also have it pulled up right in front of me as well.
Okay, so you kind of know what else is there. All right, just making sure.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Okay, welcome back. So, one thing also, in addition to all these other fascinating things, is like all this feels very, very different than the underworld, and we'll just say this is your. Since it is so striking, this definitely would have to be your first time here, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's
otherwise you'd be
kinda
like,
what
oh,
I said.
you would have
That's
to be.
kind of what I said.
Mhm. So it's like, oh, it's so bright. Ew, what's that? That like bright yellow thing in the sky. Why is the sky also blue? Right? Oh, the green. The trees are green and what?
Why?
And
Why?
the
Why? Why
ground
is it?
green.
Why?
The
What are
ground
those?
is green and not-
What are those
not
white things in the sky?
Everything.
What
so
is
blue.
this? Why? Why is this? Okay, so as you sort of climb up, are you still wanting to head toward the trees?
I'm
Yes.
gonna say he's out of the crater.
Yes.
He's just kind of cresting it, and he's able to see also what the ground has all over it.
Yes.
It looks like plants that are green and flowing, and then there's wind. There's just like whoosh. They're just swaying with
some of the wind blows the hair into my face, and I'm like, oh. Pff, ah.
Sure.
it's just whoosh. Yep, there's a little leaf that flows into your right, into your face,
Oh.
and it's like, ugh. It's like, so it's like the leaves. They're already attacking me. He's blinded by the light.
Here comes the sun.
So as this happens, Nexus, go ahead and give me a charisma save.
Charisma, okay.
Okay, so even though, again, all of this is new, you're able to kind of keep your cool, even as all these kind of new things are happening, and you just had some stuff kind of fly into your face and your eye. You're able to keep cool and keep on your task for the moment. Are you still wanting to head toward the trees?
Yes.
Well, also, not just the trees. You also see what looks like there seems to be a kind of a clearing between the trees. It seems like where you are at is like almost kind of a clearing, while that it seems to be surrounded by trees.
Mm-hmm.
So with one space off to, I guess we'll say the off to the east. We'll just use east in this case. That there's a bit of a clearing in the what would be trees that would be surrounding you at all on seemingly all sides. Does that interest you?
Yeah, I would like to see what's over there.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say you are free to move through.
But as you do, just make sure, just kind of do so square by square. So in case there's like a because we might have to do a little bit of Game Boy Pokemon mechanics. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh,
So-
okay. I see.
So as you're beginning to walk,
So you will
You're-
be.
you're gonna be noticing like that there seems to be like these little tufts of very green, very long, wavy looking plants as you're moving through.
Oh, but hold on. So it's around there. We'll say, do you mind moving yourself back in the like maybe in the just in the middle of the clearing, like maybe in the squares, just before the opening, maybe about 2 squares back diagonally.
I think that's fine, Kali. I don't wanna be too heavy-handed.
All
So, Nexus, as you're sort of moving through, and you're noticing these tufts of grass, go ahead and make me an investigation.
Well, what we know is grass, but what you don't, your character probably doesn't know as grass.
Right.
Well, okay. So, as you kind of stop to look, you don't notice anything. I'm gonna say you don't notice anything remarkable.
The plant, what seems to be vegetation, crunch under your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of lift my leg and look at my shoe, and I'm like,
So as you lift up your leg and you look at your shoe, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
My leg.
Sweet Liberty, my leg!
Sweet liberty, my leg. Hi, Reaper. Investigation?
You're gonna see, as you look down, it looks like some of the green stuff seems to be holding on to the bottom of your.
Leg.
Yes.
Your ankle, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just take my hand and just brush it off, like, get off.
Huh?
As you attempt to do so, you are going to feel the plants. It's gonna suddenly feel very sharp as you go to grab.
So I just grab it and I'm just like, what was that?
And so, do you move your hands away or do you keep them on?
I move my hands away.
Okay, so as you move your hands away and you kind of have a reaction of surprise, you're gonna see perception check, please.
Okay.
You're gonna see something like the grass almost appears like it stands up straighter, almost like it's on the defensive. Insight check.
And maybe even in nature.
Yes.
So insight and then nature.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you don't know much about this strange green type of plant, but your insight tells you something is not right about that. Something is strange about this. That's what you know.
And it's just like
And,
I just kind of back away from it just cautiously.
Okay, so as you go to back away, you're going to see the grass, the green, strange plant thing, almost move after you. So you're going to see it actually head in your direction.
Or everything around you, all the things around you are grasping at you.
Mm-hmm.
So out of instinct, I just grab the weapon from off my back and I just hold it in a defensive stance.
So, and as you notice, you realize yourself are what seems to be in a field of completely surrounded by all of these plants that seem to be
Ah, shit.
to be like seemingly alive.
And Nexus, as you go and hold your weapon in a defensive stance, make me an Arcana, and then also make me another Insight check.
Okay.
Let's see, and I'm trying to see because I'm looking on your end on the stream. I'm not seeing anything. Are you seeing and your character surrounded by anything?
I am.
I am.
We are.
I am. Awake to grass. What the fuck?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Nature is trying to kill me.
What?
Nature is trying to kill me.
You find yep. There we
Okay,
go. It took a
so-
bit.
With that Arcana check, Nexus 23, as you grab your scythe, what color do you want to say, or what happens when your scythe is communicating with you or is sort of in an activated state? What does that look like?
It starts to kind of like have like red electricity at the tip, or like along the blade.
Okay, very nice. So you're going to see the scythe do that, and you're going to know that it and you are reacting to the situation. And with that insight, you're not gonna necessarily know what's going on with your weapon at this point, like it's not giving you a lot to go on, but you
Mhm.
are gonna get the sense that it is responding to these
Yes.
moving plants.
You feel your fire your scythe brim with power, and it feels itching like it wants to just cut all this grass down.
Mm-hmm. So, Nexus, with that information in mind, what would you like to do? You have the option to make an attack. You have an option to move. Although, if you try to move with the current situation, that might come with some interesting results. What would you like to do?
You know what? I'm gonna move.
Okay, so because you are currently surrounded in this way, as you move or as you attempt to, this is what we call in D&D an attack of opportunity. So if your space is surrounded by an enemy or some other combatant, they will get a chance to attack you.
Okay.
Or
Because you are
Yeah.
trying to move out, and you're technically going to be moving through this space.
yes.
So as you attempt to do this, these little tufts of sick green-looking plants are going to
Gonna
lash.
cut,
They're gonna
they're gonna-
lash out at you.
like they're gonna cut a little bit because
Mhm.
it's almost seems like almost every little what seems like strand is like cuts like a dagger.
They've got
I-
some edge.
Oh my gosh,
These
that's-
plants are feeling edgy.
Quite literally, they are blades of grass. And it's like, this is very unusual.
That's a clever idea, Reaper. Who knows what Nexus is gonna do? So as you kind of notice that they are going to attack a little bit, Kali, I'm gonna allow you to do that part because you said you would help. So you are gonna take a little bit of damage.
Yes, which direction do you want to move your character through which space?
I will move south.
Okay, you want to move south? Okay.
Yep.
So, south, and so you will have to take. Let's do the first part of moving you the 2 spaces down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and as you do, you will be taking, we'll say, 1 point of what we would consider slashing damage.
Okay.
Because blades of grass, literally. So, blades do slashing damage. Things, like spears and all that, they do like piercing damage.
Right.
Things like hammers and bones and all that do bludgeoning. Just for,
And don't feel like the only weapons you have are just your primary wielded weapon. There are ways to use the environment also as weapons.
if you would like, but for the purposes of not like being too heavy-handed, you can do as you like. But
You
there
know-
are ways you can use the environment if you so wish.
Such as, I mean, questions like, can I find a stone and throw it at them? Or,
Yeah.
or anything else, or anything else like that. Don't feel free to not feel like your only options are just limited to your character shape.
Pretty much, so long as I don't say it's nailed down or,
Yeah.
it belongs to some sort of strange wizard, so long as I have not already put limits, most of my environment can be interacted with in
Okay.
unique ways. So feel free to get creative.
Okay.
All right. So before that, let's resolve the damage. So the way we do that on the character sheet is you go, if you're doing it using the browser, you go over to the right where your current and max hit points are.
Yeah.
you go to the space between the heal and the damage, and since I said 1 point of
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I figured it out.
do the 1 and then you click the damage.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna be feeling a little like, ow. You know,
As
so it's gonna be enough damage to be.
You're gonna be Peter Griffining if you know that.
Yeah.
You're gonna go,
Just-
Ah!
Just,
ah.
god damn.
Basically.
Hmm.
So, it's not gonna create a ton. I'm gonna say these scratches for now are not deep enough to cause anything like bleeding. Now, if they were, there are conditions in D&D like bleeding, right? That would need to be managed, but for the sake of this, I'm gonna say that it's just for now, it's gonna be a little surface cut.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But if
it's a little nick.
it's like a paper cut. It's like it's
Yeah.
not deep enough to bleed, but it hurts. And it's irritating.
Yeah.
But how does that make you feel? Does that make you be like, oh, how dare you cut me? I'm a demon lord.
hmm
Yeah, you puny things.
You filth. No, you get to decide. So what do you want to say your reaction is to taking that little bit of damage and feeling the sting of this literal blade of grass as it just like does that damage to you?
I just look at it with just pure hatred.
Okay. So you have a feeling like you just want to cut it down. Your scythe is giving you this massive impression of wield me. kind of.
So I will say you have options here. You could choose to make a weapon attack. If you know any magic or you know any spells, you could also see about using that here. We also do have checks that use the charisma stat, and one of those is an intimidation check. So you could even try to intimidate the grass if you so wish. Since you said I'm looking at it with pure hatred, that is a check you can make in D&D. You can try to intimidate something
I'm going
as
to.
a way of dealing with it.
I'm.
Or if you
I'm
just
going-
wanna cut it
I'm
down,
going
just
to.
straight up cut it down.
I'm going to intimidate it first.
Okay.
Go ahead, go for it. Okay, so with that roll of 10, I believe is what you. Let me check and make sure. Yes. So your intimidation check of 10 means that you try to look intimidating, but you just feel like the grass just gets pointier and more like.
Or yeah, it's either like it doesn't seem to be that.
It's like unfazed. It just kind of.
It's staying there looking grass-like.
And it's gonna kind of bristle at you like.
I just kind of just squint at it like.
It's like the whispers on the wind, almost like a mocking kind of on the wind.
This grass is really testing my patience.
Starting you off, it's like, with an interesting test, Nexus.
So I'm gonna say that go ahead and make me an Arcana check, please.
Yeah.
So at this moment, you're gonna feel your scythe kind of pulsate angrily with like this same desire to just slice, cut through this thing that dares not be intimidated by the Demon Lord. So you're gonna feel that from your scythe.
I just kind of look at my scythe and I'm like, you really want to cut this down, don't you?
And you're gonna get something from the scythe that feels like a very strong yes.
All right then. I'll let you have some fun.
So, letting you know that are you have a under so what as a warlock, um you have some powers and in which include spells. So, what powers do you know as you check into yourself as you prepare yourself to attack?
Well, I have Chill Touch, Green Flame Blade, Hex, and Wrathful Smite.
Okay.
So, as you're sort of preparing yourself for this battle with the other green menace, what is on your mind as you select the appropriate tool for such a job?
Chill Touch, I think.
Fight green with green, maybe?
I'm gonna let Nexus do what he wants to do, Collie. Whatever you like. There is no wrong answer. Again, this is just to get you used to what you have.
You know what? I think I'll use Chill Touch on the grass.
Okay.
Alrighty. So what does it say for that spell?
Time 1A, range 120 feet, hit is +4, effect is 1d8.
Okay.
Okay.
So, the 1A, of course, stands for one action. So, if you use this, if you want to cast another spell afterward, it has to be marked as BA or bonus action.
Yeah.
Okay.
BA or 1R, right?
Or one reaction.
Okay.
Yeah, one R. So 1R is kind of like like the Yu-Gi-Oh trap card, basically. That's what it means by the 1R. You set it down, you have it in your back pocket, but then it activates when the other one. You've activated my reaction card. Flip. And that's what 1R does. So.
Okay.
But normally, what players can do in a turn is they can move. They have a 1BA, which is one bonus action, and then 1A, which is one action, and that's
Right.
really it. So you have to. That's how you decide what moves you can do. So
Okay.
Now, which can include, if you want, since your turn isn't over yet, if you want, since how much do you remember, since you remember a lot about your past from that nat 20 from the very first memory, that should also mean you have a decent grasp of your battle style too, from what you know of your or at least a good sense that you have a sense that this is what looks like a good lot of littles. So in that sense, if that's what you want to do, if you really want to be like, how dare you, I hate you, right? You could apply an extra level of power to it. That will require you to use your one spell slot that you have.
Again,
but it will give you extra power.
It's just a suggestion, Nexus.
Right.
Collie?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to play how it feels natural to you.
From what you understand and what you get the idea behind how these things work. This is to get used to how these spells work. But yeah, it's true. I've been around the block too much. I need to let you have your moments.
So if you would like to do Chill Touch still, that has
I think it has an attack roll?
It has a spell attack bonus, correct? Because it has a 2-hit.
Yes.
So when we see 2-hit, that is a spell attack.
Yes.
And what that means is you have to roll for it. So it's not like an AoE where someone might have to roll a save against an effect. If there's a number in front of that, like with chill touch, what it means is you have to roll to see if your attack connects.
But here's the good news. I'm just wanting to let you know, because you did have bring Hex, because it is an attack roll, your Hex will stack extra damage every time you hit. with your
Yes,
chill
and
touch.
Hex, I believe.
It works whenever you hit with an attack, whether that's a weapon attack or a spell attack.
Yes.
So it will do extra.
And
damage.
they don't get to save. You
No.
get to choose what stat of theirs gets hexed, and they are just hexed
Yes.
for that stat. So
Yes.
you can choose
Ooh.
wisdom, you can choose charisma, you can choose con. But you have to state which one you're choosing, but then
Right.
it will affect any checks made with that particular stat. So if it's wisdom, they're going to be at a disadvantage for anything like perception, for instance, or things like that. So it can be handy as a debuff.
Or strength if you feel like they're too grabby, right?
Then it will make them less able to grab you and keep you.
Okay.
So it's basically to represent your extra feel of ire towards these things, and it's like, I want you to, to unalive so much.
It's your demon lord wrath. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
that's the way you can think about it. But I guess we're on another break, so
Another
Alright.
Saw
ad
that.
break. No.
No.
freaking Twitch. Damn, they're not paying you enough for all these.
They're
ad breaks.
not. They're really not.
Then I go grab. Where's it?
$25 seconds and we'll be out of ad hell.
The road to hell is covered with ads that you're not getting paid for.
It's like I don't get paid enough to deal with Twitch's shit.
No,
Aw.
considering they take such a big fat chunk anyway, it's like, excuse you.
Yeah, really.
You're running primetime ads on my small little channel.
Aw.
Colleen likes the. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You forgot to sleep last night. Oh no, Tanback. Go to sleep. Go to sleep,
Get
or I
some
will
rest.
knock you out. Okay, ad break's over.
Alrighty. So would you like to apply hex?
I will.
Okay. So I will say that even though they are not going to be able to save from being hexed, hex is listed as a concentration spell. And this is usually denoted by a big C next to the spell. And so what this means is if you want to keep concentrating on it, you will have to make a constitution save if you are attacked or if you take damage.
Okay.
To represent that as a caster, you can only keep it cast for as long as the time limit is, or if you remain uninterrupted, essentially.
Now, in general, the save bar is low.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, you should be fairly okay.
Mhm.
But it's there to represent the idea that if some big brute slams into a a fist right into a mage or so, or Hulk smash, right? Then
Mhm.
they lose their focus on whatever they were
On
doing.
the spell, on
Right,
whatever
right.
that is. So that's all that you're gonna need to keep track of, and it's not really gonna matter. But there are spells that are also concentration, so you will need to keep that in mind. That if you already have something like Hex active and you go to activate something else that also takes concentration, you will break concentration on your previous spell, and your current spell will take its place.
Okay.
But that's probably not relevant for now. So, as you activate Hex, you're gonna feel your demon lordly sort of rage kind of take form as you decide how you're going to hex them. And you get to just tell me which stat you're gonna choose, and then Colleen will have to roll and make checks with that in mind.
I am going to hex dexterity.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So now that they're hexed for dexterity, that means anything that they might anything that they may try to do to get out of the way or to move will be disadvantaged now, so they will be a little bit slower in their reaction time.
So making it so that their ability to kind of be to reach for you in the first place might be will be a little bit slowed.
Okay, so as you do that, I'm gonna say you feel this go into effect. You can describe to me how that feels if you like, but you will know that this has gone into effect, and then you can do your next action, whatever you would like that to be. You have an action and you have movement.
Yes, and he wants to use his action on the chill touch, so pick whichever target you want to put your ire on first. Probably the one that damaged you, right?
Yeah, the freaking blade of grass in front of me.
Yeah, alright. Or behind you because you stepped through it, technically. Right?
Yeah.
So
So,
you turn around and
I'll
then
just
now
turn
it's in front
around.
of you,
I'm just giving it a death glare.
and then you're just like, no, you unalive right now. You will turn into a very very dry patch of plant life very soon here.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that as you sort of do that, you are still activating Chill Touch, yes?
Yes.
So you will need to make a spell attack with that as well, so just roll the dice in front of Chill Touch, and then I'll see what that roll is.
Good night, Tenback.
Yay! I'm glad that I explained things very well.
Well, it's important to know these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's and it's similar to how things are in Baldur's Gate 3 also. It's just kind of
Yeah.
but it's a little bit, you know, I would say procedural more so than Baldur's Gate 3 is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I see that you rolled the damage. Have you rolled to hit yet?
Yeah.
And then
Because
to
you gotta
hit.
do so the to hit you gotta do it in the section.
Oh yeah, you hit 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, your attack is gonna hit.
No question. You will hit. So you will so as you hit with that ire, and I think what was his damage?
4.
Okay. So 4, and then scroll down. I think. Hold on. Actually, I gotta do something here. There we go. Refresh your character sheet. I needed to do something. I needed to Um,
Series premieres Sunday at 10 on AMC and AMC+.
actually, I need to refresh again. So,
Refresh again.
yeah, because what I needed to do, I forgot to do this last time. I needed to go to activate your your spells Hex and the Smite as display as attack, so that way you can also go down in your actions list and go to your bonus actions and have something to click,
Oh, there we
which
go.
is damage. So you should see a thing to click for extra damage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So since you applied Hex, then you can now click that extra damage zone for, and then you roll that for extra damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a 1d6, I believe, of
Yeah, it's a 1d6 of
necrotic damage.
extra necrotic damage on top of the chill touches damage. So basically, you reach up and this hand just kind of clings down and saps the life energy out of this annoying plant.
The hex damage was 1, but I'm gonna say because that's full on necrotic energy, it is gonna have a very visible effect. And I'm gonna say that chunk of grass wilts
Yep.
very visibly. And yeah.
Yep, you see it basically shrivel and turn to black, and then it just goes as basically that one's done. That one's done. Once I get over to it. Okay, there we go.
So once you do that, you're gonna see the other clumps and the other collections of the green menace. You're gonna see them almost as if they're sentient and can understand what just happened. You're gonna see them react to one of their party members shriveling up and dying, and they're gonna immediately be on the attack. You're gonna see their little blades of grass extend, and they are gonna come right for you.
And you'll see them moving.
So it is a fight they want, huh?
And actually, they look like they're trying to basically block you.
Once again, they're literally trying to plant box you in.
Huh.
However, just like we said, so I'm gonna say maybe for the sake of argument, the opportunity one is opportunity one if you move through another another entity's thing, not if you move next to it, right?
Yes. And so what I will say too is because the grass are sort of moving into your space now, you actually have the chance to opportunity attack them.
Well, okay, they're not in his space. They're around him.
I'm saying that now. So if you have an enemy who moves through your space, you will get an attack of opportunity on them.
However, then we will say one grass is moving into his space to try and grab him again.
Okay.
As the other three are blocking him from two directions.
So as that one grass blade clump sort of moves into your space, you are now free to make a weapon attack toward it in reaction to it moving into your zone.
Because you can see it actually moving towards you. So that means you're looking in the direction so you can see them moving. So you can be like, you may have done that one attack, but you do. So now, let's see. Let's see. Opportunity attacks at work. Normally, the opportunity attacks at work if I think there's only a specific feat that works like that where you provoke opportunity attacks if they enter your reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if his character has that.
That would be a different feature, but I will say he at least will get an opportunity attack when it moves close in to his space, like we said. Normally, if we wanted to say that it counts for the reach of the weapon, there are other features that will allow for this, but that might be something you will need to grow into if this is something that starts happening more.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Okay.
But for now, go ahead and make a weapon attack toward that clump of grass who has moved into your direct space.
All right. Thank you for the hydrate, Zip.
I'm hydrating now as well.
Yeah.
So do this.
Yeah. D&D has a lot of things, a lot of rules, a lot of things, and trying to give
And-
bonuses to specific ones, and it can be a lot to think about, you know. And just think, people can play Baldur's Gate 3 like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Because all of this is done for you. You know, in the coding of the game itself. Like,
Right.
and so
But,
this is why, like, actually playing D&D is a lot different, and it's a lot more preparation on the DM side because we don't have a bank of code just crunching
Yeah,
numbers
yeah.
for it.
Well,
Exactly.
and same for the players, because it's also like, how does everything interact? I don't know. The code handles it all for you. So you just say, I see the thing, I see a percent, it looks high enough, attack.
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, right?
Yes. So all that being said, go ahead and make a weapon attack if you have.
Already did. Yeah, I already rolled my damage into hit numbers.
Okay. So it looks like your to hit is 15. That is good enough, and the damage you do is 5 slashing damage. Oh yes, Nexus.
Yes.
So since the one blade of grass that you put hex on died, you are free to move that hex to another target.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Right, although this is in reaction mode, so just letting you know that'll have to be his next turn. Right?
Okay, I'm just letting him know because that's something that I forgot to highlight when he put it on the first time. So I'm just reminding him and reminding myself because I almost forgot about that.
So either way, he did take a swipe, yes?
Yes, and he did 5 slashing damage to that clump of grass that moved into his spot.
5 slashing damage, okay, and that, okay, that's your character. That slices it.
Does it die? Is it looking
Well,
a little bit
it's-
withered?
It's looking, yeah, like it's cleaved in half.
Oh, okay then. Well, Nexus, it appears that you are successful in doing damage to that foe.
And when you see that it's cleaved in half, it doesn't look like it is moving any further.
And I just take my foot and I just step on it and
Oh, so as you step on it, do you like go out of your way to like grind your foot into it.
Oh,
Do you
I
think-
just get right in there and I just drive it into
Okay.
the ground.
Okay, performance check and intimidation check.
Yes.
Performance. Okay.
Performance is usually when you're putting on a performance, but I also like to use this when you're going out of your way to add extra
Ooh.
performative qualities to another action, such as
And
grinding
intimidate.
your feet into the dirt and giving them a look like, see what I can do to you.
Yeah. Alrighty, made my rolls.
Okay, so your performance is 13, your intimidation is 17. So yes, you really project this aura of you are lower than dirt. You literal living clumps of dirt and green annoyance. So Kali, you are going to need to make a charisma save on behalf of these remaining plants. If they are smart enough to be intimidated, that is.
Well. Well, when the moment you say that, they're not really. They don't seem
Okay,
to be.
so they
Mm.
literally don't know how to read that intimidation, so they're just gonna move on forward. Kali, you get to describe their actions since you are playing as these combatants.
Well, basically, you look like your real your demon lord's level of intimidation is trying to intimidate these things, but it seems like there doesn't seem to be they don't seem to be all there. They're like they seem to be moving as if they were
Well, wait, Kali, before you say any more, Nexus, give me an insight check.
Insight. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say with that 12, you're not sure, but it doesn't seem like they have any conscious thought. It seems like they might just be acting out of either instinct or some other directive. Based on the fact that they didn't seem to respond to your intimidation.
Hmm.
And that is also what's good with an insight check. Those are also what it's used for, is to try to read into a situation and try to see what more you can get. So in this case, it would tell you, they might not be the same as another type of enemy that might have the capacity to think in more complex ways.
they may be moving, but they don't seem to be moving in such a way that that would denote like intelligence.
Yeah,
or-
they don't seem to be very intelligent from what you know of other intelligent creatures and perhaps plants even in hell. So you gather this information as you kind of watch their non-response to your intimidation. Kali, go for
Okay.
it and tell me what they're gonna do next.
Okay. Let's see. They're gonna continue to attempt to do what they were trying to do. They're gonna attempt to do the same.
And continue to attack.
Well,
So-
or at least continue to what will be, let's see, a kind of restraint.
Okay, so they're again gonna attempt to restrain you, so they need to make some checks. Kali, I'm gonna trust you to make those checks and be fair. They are gonna have to make checks to see if they can grab onto you. And if they are successful, we will go from there.
Let's see, which is the motion that it is to do, to grab on, since,
That would usually be what we would call a grapple check, and that is usually athletics to have the strength to hold someone, to restrain them.
So it looks like whatever it has, is not, well, there's some things about it, but I will roll on their behalf. Let's see. Okay. I will say, let's see, do a 6 here. 2, 3, 7. Okay. It will be this one that attempts to grab you.
Alrighty. Kali, is it successful?
With disadvantage, it is. Let's see. Where is that? You have a 12 to beat.
A 12. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to try to get out of that, you are gonna need to make either a strength save or a dexterity save.
We'll go strength.
You can choose whichever you have a better bonus for. Very nice. Strength 17. So you are going to be able to essentially rip yourself out of that grasp.
So you're using your physical
nature I just see it just grab onto my arm. I just see it grab onto an arm, and I just, with ease, just pull, and it just...
It's actually more your leg, because they can't reach up to your arm.
Oh, yeah. So I just kind of kick it out of the way and pull, and just kind of releases it.
It's like, no, don't grab onto my leg. Don't touch me.
Basically. So, you are going to be able to pull yourself out of that being grabbed. I'm going to say the other clumps are going to try to make an attempt. Kali, go ahead and roll on their behalf and see what happens.
Okay. Since I guess it's gonna have to go, they're gonna have to do all their bits. Then I'm gonna do that as whoop. I'll roll that as okay. Then that's another one. Same result. A third has a 6. A fourth has a 6. A fifth has an 11. And the sixth has a 9.
Okay.
So what it's going to be is they all try to pile on top of you as they move into your space.
Oh, God.
Yes. So, next as they are going to attempt to do this, I will say that a few of them roll well enough to attach to you, but you can take an action now in reaction to
your it seems that your screen is invisibling. Just letting you know.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's the whole. If the window is minimized for any reason, it does that. That's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think
unfortunately, it's just one of those streamer things. I think.
I don't think there's
way.
a setting to fix that. Yeah. But it's back, so we're good.
So either way, you're getting piled on. And so some of these grass.
I have an idea. Maybe pull it apart. Pull it apart from your other screen. So like either have it on its own setting, its own window, so that way whatever the source is looking at only looks at that, and then so that way you can maybe look at something on the side.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, there we go.
Try that. See if that works. So the theory is you should have it be able to be up, but you can look at something else.
Hopefully.
I don't see anything disappearing so far, so I think it might be working.
Yeah, we're good.
Yay, there you go. You learned something.
Alright, so Nexus, you are now free to decide what your next course of action is now that all these awakened grass clumps have decided to descend upon you.
Hmm.
You now get to decide what you would like to do. You have options.
Okay, well, since they're being annoying and they're literally all within arm's length, I'm gonna do an unarmed strike
Nice.
because
So, what does that look like?
I just I reach for the closest one. I just pull at it to uproot it.
Pull it. Ah, well then that's a different thing. What you're trying to do is you're using your strength to yank it out of its out of the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is actually a contest of your strength. So that would be
Versus it.
your athletics check versus its strength to try and hold into the ground.
Okay. So go ahead and roll athletics to see how you do. $15. Okay, Collie. You roll your end and tell me what you get.
So this will be against one, and also another ad break. After the messages, we'll be right back. Okay. It fails.
Okay, so Nexus, you are able to reach down and just rip this grass clump out of the ground with your bare hands. I will say, because it's still looking very like kind of sharp, you are going to take a little bit of damage as you
Yes.
reach down and pull it out.
Okay.
Yeah, your hand will be nicked, so you will take 1 point of damage, slashing again,
Okay.
from doing this act by grabbing it.
Mm-hmm. But it is successful.
You are able to pull it out of the ground.
And so now that you've done that, what would you like to do next? Typically, you do have limits to how many actions you can take in any 1 6-second turn, but that's kind of irrelevant here considering you are...
What we could do is, since that took like a concerted effort, that may be an action, but just like in Baldur's Gate 3, it has shove, or we can even use throw as like a action on top of that. So if you want to do something like now that I picked it up, I want to do something with this thing in my
I
hands.
want to throw
e-
this at another one, or I want to
I
throw
either
it.
chuck it
you
at
know,
at a distance, or I do something else with it, right?
chuck it at another one of its friends, whatever.
Okay,
Those are
so
also options too.
what about if I do this? If I use Chill Touch while I have it in my hand and I chuck it at another one, what would happen?
Okay, first off, that is unfortunately I have to say that is going to be too many actions in one turn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get that you're trying to do some kind of demon lord, I suck the life out of you kind of thing. So at this point, you could decide to use as your bonus action with a theme similar to that. You could decide to shift the hex to the thing that you're grabbing.
And say now you are gonna get screwed in particular.
You're going to be next.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll move my hex.
To that one that you're holding.
Yep.
And so will we call him so if you choose to throw it after moving the hex to it, I'm gonna say that might count enough to say, oh, it took some damage, so now it's gonna take a little more, but it depends on what you do next.
Right.
Let's see. So the main question is the picking up and the strength versus strength contest, does that count as an action? Or is that a free action? Or in this case, because if it's a free action, that would allow him to, one, shift the hex to that other thing, and then still have an action to throw.
I'm gonna say it is here because I'm treating that the same as, grabbing a potion. Yes, there was a little bit of a strength thing, but because he cleared it with no resistance in this case, like if he had really had to pull, like, really yank at it, I might say, nah, that would use his full action. But because it came off so cleanly, I'm gonna say yes, in this circumstance, he can do that and do another action.
Then what this is going to mean is that for all future contests of ability, then that goes in the category of free action. So that it's not spending time, or spending character movement or character options doing any of those things. So then that means, then Nexus, you can shift your hex to that blade of grass with your ire, and then you can decide to do something with it, like chuck it or do something, and then it'll apply.
Whatever you wish. Chuck it.
Or even, I mean, now in this case, this would be kind of like something akin to a point blank Chill Touch. Because he's already grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in that case, because normally it's like you're trying to hit at something, like with an arrow, right? But you don't. There's a chance that you can miss, right? If you don't angle it just right. In this case, since that's like shooting an arrow.
Hand.
That's like shooting an arrow at a pal with the arrow right by its head.
Yeah.
The bow right by its head. It's like you're how much chance are you gonna miss? Very difficult to miss right there.
In this case, even though that's technically not rules as written, I'm going to say that because this blade of grass is literally in your hand, whatever you do next is going to be enough to activate the
It's
The hex damage.
yeah. It's we will consider it since the check was the strength check, right? The contest
Mm-hmm.
that will count as the as the
Normally what would be required the quote spell attack
right.
because you were successful.
Okay.
So in this case, we can say it's an auto hit for this kind of move, and you
If
can allow
already active and doing this move.
because
Okay.
it's point blank and to something you're already grappling.
Right.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, in D&D there are creatures that do that, where like they have, like say octopuses or those with tentacles, as they say,
Octopi.
right? Octopi or squids and any other things like that that act like that, or slimes or whatnot. Stuff like that. That's like the moment they hit, they do it. They attempt to try and grab you. They attempt to try to hit you, but when they do so, then they automatically grab you, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like it gets the 2-in-1 combo. So
Well,
in this
yeah.
case, we're giving you the ability to 2-in-1 combo in the same
Yeah.
way.
So for this scenario, go ahead and roll the hex damage, which is 1d6.
1 again.
So it's gonna take 1 shrivel damage.
One shrivel damage. One pruning damage.
Mhm.
It
Then roll for chill touch.
yes. And it's for the damage, not the to hit.
7.
Oh yeah, that thing that thing just kind of just turns, and just like its its compatriot, it just shrivels into just
It just dies.
yeah,
Uh,
it just all the green turns uh
white.
brown and black and in your hands, and kind of fades into dust.
Basically. So, I will say now that you have handled this part of it, you are now a little bit freer to move.
You still have a good 5 others that are surrounding your space. That maybe do an insight check on them. Okay. Probably right now you're not able to sense anything. You're not able to kind of gather anything.
You don't get anything more other than what you've already gleaned or what you already understand about them. So now, seeing as you still have more in your space, what would you like to do? As they don't look like they're going to change from their course of action just yet.
And you don't. It doesn't seem like they like there's a clear opening.
Nexus.
Yeah.
Arcana check and charisma save, please.
Oh. Arcana and charisma.
Okay, so you're gonna feel the magic from your scythe. You're gonna feel it sort of grow, and it's gonna kind of get crackly in your hand, and you are gonna start feeling yourself get a little more pissed off, almost like it's coming to you from the weapon itself. And you're just gonna get this image of the scythe just wanting to start hacking wildly.
It's almost like, in fact, feeling maybe a little upset.
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost like why are you feel a kind of an angry pout from it. That it's like, why are you not why are you no using me?
And you get the sense of wield me. Show no mercy. Wield me.
I just kind of glance at my scythe as I'm just looking at him, and I just grab it, and I point towards a blade of grass with the tip aimed right down at it.
Yes.
And I'm just squinting at the grass.
You dare get in the way of me. JoJo's. This is now turning into Nexus's bizarre adventure.
In a way, a little bit.
In a way.
All right. So, but in the meantime, these other ones are, do have to. You did kind of all your versions, all the things on your turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
And are any of these other ones able to? They're not. As far as I am trying to get an understanding, I don't think they were successful in continuing.
No.
In restraining him. Yes.
No, but that doesn't mean they might not be able to do something else.
Well, they will try. But anyway, that would mean so next is their collective turns.
And so, are you doing rolls,
Yes.
Collie?
So one gets a 9 to try and grab onto him.
Mm-hmm.
Another one gets
Another
9.
one. Another one.
And another
Another
one.
Another one.
Oh,
Ooh,
one gets a
17.
One gets a
Oh.
17. Another one gets a 9.
Mm-hmm. 99999.
That was not no 99999.
16.
And 16. So that means 2 of them are will grab you once again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And seem like they're grabbing onto each one of your legs.
Yes.
So with that, this is what they consider is the so add the
You are restrained.
restrained condition.
It's temporary, of course. But until you break out, your speed is reduced to 0. And if anything else were to attack you, the attack not only has advantage to hit, but in certain situations, the attack itself would count as a critical strike.
Okay.
I think that's the paralyzed one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Collie. You're the rules person. You're the actually.
Yeah.
I'm just the creative storyteller. You do your thing, boo.
But you are correct in that it can't benefit from any speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. The creature's one have disadvantage, so that would mean your attacks against them have disadvantage because you're restrained, and then the creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. However, we will do a slightly. There's a slight version of this. Actually, not restrained because it's not because they're not doing your hands. They're just gonna grapple you, right? So the grapples the speed becomes 0, and that's pretty much it. That's the majority that they're doing. They're keeping you rooted in place.
They're keeping your feet rooted to the ground, quite literally, or attempting to.
Yes.
So
Which-
for
which
now,
makes
your
more sense.
movement speed is 0, but that will only be in effect so long as you're.
So long as they're continuing to grapple you and you do nothing about it, which is not likely.
So are they going to do anything else?
That's really all they and as they do so they will kind of dig their blades into his ankles a little bit.
Yeah, trying to do a little extra damage, but
So-
I'm gonna say since
so-
you have your boots on, it's probably not gonna do much to you.
Oh,
Armor class.
yeah, what's his armor class?
10, I believe. Yeah, it's 10.
Since they're
okay.
grabbing,
Make a roll.
well, if their dex or if they're the thing to use to grab is the same is against the armor class, then they will still kind of wrap around it or try to do something. This is an interesting idea. It's like, are they grabbing around clothes or somehow
I
finding a way through?
don't think they would be smart enough to find a way through. I mean, you just said they're dumb.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
because they cannot be played to use logic, they're gonna grab for the closest thing, which is the boot.
Okay.
So
So-
even if they're putting their spurs in, if the boot is made of leather, it's still going to stop a blade of grass from getting to skin to do damage, but it might damage the boot.
It would damage the boot, but thankfully he's got something. He has something that they don't know. So some a special property of his particular clothes.
So Nexus, go ahead and make me an investigation.
Okay. Ooh. I like that number.
Let's see what you got. Ooh,
19,
19
yeah.
investigation. So you are definitely going to see that these plants do seem to be attempting to wrap more tightly around you, and that they seem to be trying to dig in, but you're going to notice that they're not going to be really successful in trying to do any damage to you. It's kind of like a chihuahua just trying to bite your boot in a sense. It's kind of the same way. You can see that they're really trying, but it's not really gonna do very much.
I'm more or less just staring down at just annoyance.
Especially because your boots, whatever the boots are. Oh yeah, that's right. I should give you boots. Since it's, they're just.
Yay! You've been walking around without shoes on.
Apparently.
Just like Diablo. Somehow I'm walking around without shoes on and without
then-
any pants.
And then you realize you've had them in your inventory the whole time and you didn't equip them.
And somehow that did 0 damage.
Well, they're all part of the set, essentially.
The Demon Lord's set.
But I just want to make you aware that there are different things, just like in most, like Diablo or Baldur's Gate or any of these other games like that. There is different pieces to your armor set, right?
Right.
Right now, it just you have a special set of clothes that are there, and it might also include your boots,
Right.
because it does say, yeah, included as most sets of clothing, as the description of the boots. So I just wanted to include that, just to add that there. But either way, you just kind of notice that, especially since these boot and these sets of clothing have stood the test of time in the underworld, past many encounters and previous things, and you've never needed to go to another tailor's ever since.
Yeah.
So you look at that and say, "Ha, your pithy attacks
It's
will
more
are
durable than that, or whatever you
your
want to
feeble
say there.
attacks
Yeah.
will not hamper me."
Whatever you think you would say there is what you say. Um, your move, Nexus. What would you like to do?
Hmm. I think I'm gonna go for a weapon attack on one of these grasping blades of grass here.
Okay. So because you have a scythe, do you want to make like a swinging attack so that maybe you can try to hit both of them, or is there an extra thing you want to put on this attack?
And that's one of the things where it's like it might do like a weapon mastery kind of move, where it's like in the new edition of D&D, it will give weapons something akin to Baldur's Gate, which is a special move that that only certain weapons do, like
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 hamstring or,
a
you know,
sweeping
Yeah.
slow.
Okay.
Sweep attack.
more than just a single I take
More
the
than
Reaper
just a
and
single. More than just a single. Eh.
Yeah, yeah. So
because
so
right
So-
now at this
so
level,
weapon
you,
skills.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I'm gonna say, just for the sake of coolness, because this is a damn scythe, and you are proficient in using it, I'm gonna say you can make a sweep attack and possibly hit both of these.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, go ahead and make your scythe attack 2 hits. And
So-
then roll, and then if you make your hit, which I'm sure you will because they're holding on to you and they're stationary. Okay, 14. I'm gonna say that's more than good enough.
So here's a question: do you want to have the blade, basically light itself on fire?
No, that's probably a bad idea.
No.
I'd rather not set the surrounding area like if it gets out of control.
Fair enough.
I don't wanna.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Well, here's a but here's a question, Mr. Demon Lord. Do you care?
Up
Because
here,
How do you know that setting things on fire is going to be a bad thing?
Well, that would be like a nature check, wouldn't it?
yeah.
To know if fire is bad for
Especially-
nature.
Especially when everything, if you let's say you came from Avernus, everything around you is practically on fire.
All the time.
So
So go ahead and make me a nature check to see if you understand that about this greenness.
17.
Okay, so there's a part of you, I'm gonna say, instinctively knows that fire can do damage. Potentially.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna leave it up to you to decide whether you want to put fire on this attack or not.
No.
Okay. So it's gonna just be a regular slash attack. However, Nexus, make me an insight check and a constitution check.
And Constitution.
Yes.
because one thing, it's like a lot
So-
a lot of the denizens of the underworld are like, ooh, fire, good.
So, what you will feel in that moment as you do like a simple swipe and it like cuts through these blades of grass and you watch them disconnect from your ankles, you're gonna feel in your gut from the scythe, you're gonna feel this burning desire from the scythe that says, fire. Why didn't you use fire against them? Burn them. And that's what you'll feel in your gut. But that's what I'm gonna leave it at.
Interesting.
Hmm.
But you feel that as you are now free. You are literally now free to
You have done a sweeping
move
attack.
if you like.
You move, but you will have to move. If you do move, you will still have to do the moving through them, and will take damage.
It's
by doing
your you can
Um,
choose what you do now.
I'm gonna use a bonus action.
Ooh.
I'm gonna prep a Wrathful Smite.
Ooh.
Well, actually, I must say that, unfortunately, that when you do so, you will find yourself kind of sapped of energy. That you seems like your primary focus and your energy has been channeled into maintaining that previous spell that you cast.
Yes. The hex. So as you think about doing that smite, you're gonna feel a twinge in your head and in your magic, almost like a little magical Charlie horse. And that's your body kind of saying, we're gonna be tapped. We're gonna be tapped out if you do that.
Hmm.
So it's one of those you got to choose either or, and for each encounter. In this case, you probably chose one of the better ones, which is because there's lots of littles. The good news is you have not lost concentration on it.
No.
So that
Okay.
means
So it is still active and you still
yes.
have cantrips. Now, they can be cast at will, but you still have to have an action or a bonus action or a reaction, depending on what it says for the cantrip to use it.
So Green Flame Bade, how that works is that it
Bade.
acts. Yeah, is it works at it's like you're charging up your scythe with some fire, and with that green fire, and then you sweep as you slice, and then that fire will not only technically do like maybe
damage the thing if you hit with it, but it will damage what's next to it.
it'll turn part of the attack into fire, and then it will fling some of that splash that fire onto a target right next to it. So
and if you read the description, there are some things where it says the fire will catch objects that are not being worn or carried. However, if it doesn't say that, there are some fires that don't automatically just burn anything else.
So in the Green Flame Blades instance, it does not say it catches things on fire.
Okay.
It does not set them ablaze.
So in this case, you could treat it like magical fire, which does not auto burn. In
But
the
there
same
are,
way that other types of fire might do fire damage or give the burning effect.
burning condition.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
technically, go ahead and give me an Arcana. I'm gonna give you advantage.
So, and it also says spell ability modifier. So obviously, right now, it doesn't look like it gives any extra damage, but it does say so at this point. It says the second creature takes fire damage equals to your spellcasting ability modifier. So when you look up at the spells and at the top, you see a modifier of +2, spell attack +4, save DC 12. So that means the second attack, the splash will be 2 points of fire damage, but some things might be weak to fire, so they will take more.
Potentially, like these blades of grass, like your nature check from earlier, might indeed tell you that
But right,
maybe fire won't be good for green. But you would have to do it and see.
but both of your types of attacks so far, whether sapping life energy or fire, you have a possibility of it might work.
Okay.
You've definitely shown that the sapping life energy absolutely works.
Yeah.
But you haven't tested the other one yet, and your blade definitely seems eager to want to use it.
So I rolled a 20 on that Arcana check.
Okay, so you know the difference between magical fire and kind of the hellfire that sets everything ablaze. So you know that this particular green flame will not necessarily do an Elmo on fire and just like destroy everything.
An elbow on fire.
So, with that knowledge, does that change your course of action?
Yeah, I think I'll do the green flame blade.
So I'm going to do what we call a retcon. So I'm gonna re-say what you do here. So as you go down and make that scythe attack on those blades of grass that were restraining you, your scythe will light a flame in this cool green fire as you bring it down and just go.
You just kind of do a nice little sweep, and it just goes swoosh across the ones that are trying to grab you. And as you do, not only will so do the damage of the site's normal damage.
Okay.
On them.
And then also.
Oh no! Wait, wrong one.
No worries, no worries. It's all good.
So.
That's why I'm not being super picky right now. 'Cause you're learning.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's
stuff happens.
So that's a 5 for damage.
Okay, and that is with the normal scythe attack, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then roll for the green flame blade. Because I believe that's I forget what dice.
It says so I clicked on it on the little thing, but it says undefined.
Actually, it gives you the notes of the extra damage that's actually supposed to be on that weapon. So when you go to the actions and you go to your weapon, you see in the notes, it not only gives you the notes of the extra damage you're supposed to apply to it, not that are there in addition to the amount that you roll.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I see. I see it.
That
Okay.
technically means so you roll that space in the damage zone, and
Yeah.
then you're technically supposed to add
+2
extra damage. Well, in this case, because there's a space here that says a +10 of slashing damage, because of the kind of the power of weapon it is. We're not gonna. We'll just say for now, we're gonna say it's not up that power yet. But there is a +2, and when you hover your mouse over it, it says 2 to second target, right?
Yeah.
Fire. So in that case, it would do 2 of fire damage
to another target.
To another target.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay.
But those will scale as you go to 5th level.
Yeah, yeah.
As you level up your character in tiers, that damage will increase.
Yeah,
and there are some spells that just do work like that. That the higher in level, either in character level or in class level, it becomes more damaging or it becomes more deadly, or for certain spells you can affect more targets.
Right.
For instance. Okay, so as you do all that, Kali, what do you want to do for the description as he goes and does?
So I will say for the first one, it will cleave it once again, just like all the other other copies of this entity.
Mhm.
So one grass will be cleft. Uh, one will be cleft, and one will be burning, essentially. So you know what? I'm just gonna do.
And as this one is burning, you're actually gonna watch it shrink away from you. So, for the first time since this strange encounter began, you are gonna see that you did something that this grass, this plant, seems to be reacting to pull away from you.
It's like, nah,
And
so
I just
the
kind of
moment
just
it has
watch.
some of that that energy, it actually moves away from you.
And I just watch as it just moves away.
Because what you're learning now, I'm gonna say I won't have you roll for this,
So
but
it's
it
still
seems
burning.
it seems like it understands that
It
it's
still's got
burning.
some fire on it, but things.
So what you realize is, oh, it understands that it's burning, but it doesn't understand my intimidation.
Right.
So for these creatures, they very literally have to be hit with something they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kali, what do you want to say the other grasses are doing?
Okay, so it's there to teach you some types of damage might perform.
Right, it's there to give you
different
some
moves.
information without necessarily giving it to you like a stat block and
The
saying,
other
"Oh yeah."
grasses seem to, the moment they see the one on fire, they're let's see, they give they kind of hesitate. There's a sense that they kind of sense that fire one of them has been caught on fire.
And fire is do not want.
Yeah.
So while they might not be smart enough to understand humanoid intimidation, they do understand fire.
I'm gonna see something. Okay. Let's see, how many's left? I'm trying to look at. There's 1, 2, 3 in that area. Okay. Ooh. Okay. One of them, probably the one right next to it, also backs away, while the other two hesitate very much, like backs away maybe this way. The other two hesitate. Okay?
Okay.
But
So
the other two are They seem to be holding their ground, but only barely.
They may be holding the ground, but not for long.
Okay. All right. So, what does that what does that make it make you feel? What does that make you think about what you can how to control this situation?
Hmm.
You see, these things don't like fire, and upon doing so, you get a sense of pleasure from the scythe.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gratified at seeing that happen.
Seeing such a result.
And then as one of these other ones continues to be on fire, it burns and goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I'll just look at the other two blades of grass that are just near me and just grin.
So as you do, you're also gonna notice that when they hesitate, you now have a little bit of breathing room to take another action or to move, because they are not immediately going forward with any new actions.
You can even use your thing to, like Baldur's Gate, shove or do your equivalent of kick, right? You can kick and kick, so like you can literally kick them away, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going to move to that next to that one lone awakened grass.
Just be advised, since those other two are in your space, you will take 2 points of damage, one from each of them, because they still are in your space. If you try to, they may not be around you, but they will still kind of cut you if you move through them.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna kick those blades of grass that are near me.
Okay, then do a strength. Because just like in Baldur's Gate, it's like a shove, which does involve strength.
So a strength check?
Yeah, that would be athletics.
Athletics.
Yes.
So, okay.
Okay, all right, 6. So to 1, but do you want to try again for another one?
Yeah.
Or do you want to save that for an attack?
I'll do one more.
Okay, 11. Let's see what these ones do in return. Let's see, since it's strength on strength. Okay, so the other one will hold its ground. It will just kind of like whoosh, right? But it seems very rooted to the ground that it's in. But the other one will just barely just be able to be wrenched out of it, right? Out of its ground. So you will be able to move it a kind of an oomph. So let me switch to here, and you will. Which way do you want to kick it? Either maybe into the divot.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell you what? Let's see. I'm trying to decide like what's going to determine the distance, because it's like, do you hit it like a hockey or like a golf club, or like a golf ball or something, and it goes wee, or does it only go like a? I'm trying to figure out that. Okay, let's do something. Let's do something new. All right. Roll a. Roll a. Roll a d4. So in order to do that, there's a, if you're doing the browser,
Yeah.
there's a red
Oh, I see it.
I think. So that will allow you to do other kinds of rolls. There. So
D4, right?
Mm-hmm. Just one of those. And that'll say how many squares you're able to kick it.
It says to everyone, self, dungeon master, which one do I pick?
Do everyone.
Okay.
Because it's just you right now.
Okay. So do that.
And then I think, yep. Okay, 4. So that means you will kick it 4 squares away.
Nice.
1, 2, 3,
God
4.
damn, God.
It's down into the hole. Hole in one. Woo!
Go! So
Goal!
you yeet this clump of grass into the pit that you climbed out of. Very nicely done.
And it'll probably have a very hard time chasing you. Yeet!
Well, it's gonna have to take some time if it wishes to get back into your immediate area. So for now, you've dealt with it enough to be able to have some more options of where you want to go and what you might want to do next.
I'm gonna attack the blade of grass that is near me and get rid of it.
Sounds good. How do you want to do that?
We'll just do a normal scythe attack. No fire this time.
Okay.
All right, roll to hit. Let's see. Let's see what that do. Oh damn! 28. Yeah, you obliterate this. You just swing. It's very anime, very badass. There's like blades of grass just falling like rain. Just swing. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, I already did.
I did. Yep, it's down. You cleave it. It is down, everyone. Woo! Woo! So, you have what we would consider a breather, an ability to get away, right?
Or in game terms, you are currently not right now in active combat.
Well,
right.
So,
you could be in combat, but
for right now, it is not imminent.
You have freedom of movement.
As in, they're not in your space trying to restrict you.
Mm-hmm. So you decide whether you want to leave them there, the ones that are left, or use this as your opportunity to. You notice that you are close to a clearing, right? And as you see, as you are in fact closer to said clearing, you also notice that there's things beyond it.
That would need a perception check and an investigation.
Okay.
To get more detail.
Investigation. And perception.
Okay, so with those rolls, 16 investigation and 18 perception, Kali, since you were the one who set up this part of the scene, I'm gonna let you describe to him what more detail he sees.
Okay, well, as you see beyond it, you see that the, almost looks like as you look past, where you are, you're able to see that where this opens up is into something akin to like another clearing. That is similar to um, what you've seen thus far. And
And you might also notice that there seems to be a few planks of wood made to stand upright at the very far edge of this clearing.
Hmm.
so, how far is he seeing into the whole clearing, or?
I would ask Nexus, how much and how far do you move when you're able? If you're going to keep moving, say up through these two trees, then you might be able to see a bit more. If you're gonna stay within this area, you might not see a whole bunch beyond a certain point.
Hmm. Um. I'm gonna move. Actually, would I be able to climb one of these trees to the south to get a better view?
You can
Good.
certainly give that a try. Go for it. So which tree would you like to go for? The one right over here. Okay.
Yeah, we can
If
let
you
him
would
move.
if you would like to climb,
That is an
you-
athletics.
you may give me an athletics.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh
Right now it's a little. It's a little mossy.
no. Right now it's a little mossy and you're a little tired. So you're gonna
Oh.
feel a little bit winded. So you can choose to take a little bit of a break, get a breather, and then attempt again.
Yeah,
However-
yeah.
Since you are, since that is, like you, as you are doing so, you will also notice that the awakened grass that backed off, at least the one that wasn't kicked into the burn, is still doing its best to
To
shuffle
make
towards
its way over toward you.
No, I'll just look and I'll just see this blade of grass moving, and I'm just like,
Still more? Come get some! Get some!
well, looks like I gotta teach you a lesson again.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do I gotta teach you this lesson, nature?
Well, do what you do, then however you want to do it. You're probably looking at it like this. Yeah.
You can choose to move, make an attack, or you can wait for it to get closer. You get to choose, but your weapon does have some more reach than a typical
You know what?
um
Do you want to attempt an intimidation thing by setting your scythe on fire but not attacking yet?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna say that can go ahead and happen. Go ahead and give me that intimidation roll. I'm gonna give you some advantage
Yes.
if needed. So how that works is when you go to click the number to roll the check, if you, I believe it's right click, you can choose roll with advantage,
Oh,
disadvantage, or
I see.
normal.
Okay, I see. So advantage?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll roll.
This is what I'm gonna call a circumstance bonus because of what happened previously. So you're gonna get advantage here because it's already had an effect on some previous blades of grass.
$15.
Okay, 15.
By that might have an effect. By doing so, it hesitates. It does not immediately go to attack, but it does not move from its position. You
So-
can even maybe feel just ever so slightly if you do an insight.
Insight check.
Ooh. Okay, 14. We'll say that yes, that succeeds.
That's enough, I would say.
You might actually see some trembling. That is
And
not
that's not from the wind. You
that's
can
not from the wind.
you see a little bit of trembling go through it as if it's might be actually feeling something like fear.
Okay, well, now that it's trembling, I might as well just put it out of its misery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. all right.
Okay, go for it.
Well, then do your swipey attacky thing or whatever. Oh, out.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You
I think
swipe it and it goes. bleh.
And so Nexus, as you do this, you're gonna hear a little squeaking, like little sad sound from it as you put it out of its misery. It's gonna go.
I just kind of like look. I'm like, what was that? What did the grass just squeak at me as it died?
Religion check, Nexus. Six. So you get to decide how that makes you feel now that you know it can squeak.
Very confused. I think these blades of grass may not actually be blades of grass.
Those are some interesting thoughts to have. Meanwhile, your scythe is going to be having a feel that you're going to feel this almost positive, joyful energy flow through it with that last killing swipe. And it's going to feel very satisfied. And you will actually start to feel it calm down. As if it's cooling down from the mode it's been in. And now you are officially, as we would say in game, you are officially out of combat.
Yes, because the other one that you yeeted down the hole, can't seem to climb out of it.
No, it is a chunk of grass. It has no thumbs.
Yes.
I just look in the direction of where I yeeted the other one and made sure that it's not following me.
Sounds
okay.
good.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's crested the top of the crater in which you've chucked it into.
So, for the time being, you can assume you're out of combat, and you now have time to rest, you have time to reattempt climbing said tree if you would still like to do so, or you can continue to look around.
You can even go around the tree, since it seems like you're not in a place that you need to necessarily climb the tree in order to get a better view.
You know what? I'm gonna climb the tree.
You're gonna climb the tree.
All right, I will allow you to give that another try.
Or you could try a different tree. Right?
Yes.
I'll attempt the same one.
That's not the
Okay.
same.
That's totally fine. Go ahead and give me athletics.
Ooh, far better this time. Do you do anything different in how you climb it? This time? Do you like either use your scythe, do you jab it into it? Do you do something like try to use
Wedge your feet into some part of it.
I use my the tip of the blade as like a hoist, and I kind of climb up it, kind of like how
Yes.
kind of like how an ice climber climbs the ice. They drive the pick into the thing, and they hoist themselves up. I just do that with the scythe in the tree. I just climb up it.
Okay, all right. Maybe like use your scythe wherever you can as like a lever.
Yeah.
Yank yourself up or do other things to.
I will say that works. As you do so, make me a perception check.
Okay. And perception. Okay.
I will say that this is enough to see the rest of this clearing. By climbing onto the tree.
And I will also say that as you kind of get up onto this branch or onto this place in the tree that you're able to sit, you will notice that where you put your scythe to climb up, you're going to notice something a little bit sticky or shiny looking oozing from some of these marks that you made. But with that information, I'm going to say you will get to see a larger area of what is around you. To at least, what would you say, Golly? At least, I don't know, 60 feet?
You will see
maybe more?
You will see that there, in fact, since you're at the top, I will say you'll see a whole lot more, but not too much more. Not out to here. Yeah. So you see something that looks like at the top of you'll see another kind of clearing. And in said other clearing, you'll see kind of like there's some speckled bits of other kinds of entities, grass-like entities that you faced spread around.
You will see more, but they'll be a little more spread out, but you will, I'm gonna say, because you just got done being in combat with them, you are now beginning to recognize something about them that kind of sets them apart. Maybe it's their brighter green color, maybe it's their stiffer, like, grass blades, or a combination. Either way, you are beginning to develop an eye for what these look like. So you are gonna notice a few of them in the clearing.
However, as you look further, you see beyond the clearing that there looks like there might be a path, some kind of dirt stone path that they are not in, and
Okay.
that if you hurry, you might be able to move past them without engaging in another fight.
Potentially. I'm going to say that you arrive at this conclusion from your recent combat.
So this is
So if you wish to test out that theory, you may.
You know what? I think I will. I'll test out this.
So you need to do something like a leap down, and then what would this is to show you that you have the possibility of foregoing attacks to turn all of it into movement.
Oops. Got the wrong thing.
Whoops. Yeah. We'll just.
There we go. I meant to move the map, but I grabbed the...
That's okay. It's
Okay.
fine. So basically, what this is if you choose to forgo all attacks, you are using the dash action, which means you can move more. But at the end of that movement, you will not be able to attack or do anything else. So in this case, you would do it if you have decided, I'm not going to bother with battling, and it's more important to just GTFO.
So, like for example, if you went from here, then here, and kind of do. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 30, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You'd be over there, right?
Yeah.
So if that's something that you would like to do, you can do so here, and that will allow you to move more quickly, but you are foregoing any other thing that you could do, such as attacking or anything else, and you are simply focusing on moving as quickly through a space as possible.
Yeah.
And
I'll,
still concentrating, just letting you know, you are still concentrating on that hex, so that in case there ever is a battle, you can always reapply it.
Right.
Yes. So long as it hasn't gone past the spell limit for Hex, which, how long does it last at level 1? Is that like an hour?
1 hour, which is way longer than any
Way
battle.
longer than most combats.
So basically, long after the combat has ended, long after stuff, you can even channel some of it into the into a breather, and then you'll just only spend a few minutes or so, and then it'll be right back again for another use.
Okay.
But for now, it's not a breather enough because there still are enemies nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like to give that a try, that's what we'll say. Kali, refresh my memory about movement speed dashing.
It uses up an action in order to do so.
How much extra movement can they do?
One whole bit of their movement speed. Basically, it stacks the movement speed on top of itself. So basically, if you move 30 feet, then it moves.
Then you can move another 30, but you're not going to be doing anything else. So it's the equivalent of a sprint, obviously. That's why it's called dash.
And
Yeah.
now some classes and some spells allow you to dash as a bonus action. So
without some of the limitations, but that's kind of out of the scope of this. But this is something all characters can choose to do. They just have to forgo everything else. But it means that you can have up to 60 feet of movement if you're not having to climb or do anything else.
So, what do you think? That could be a possibility. Now, so Scythe, where does Scythe feel about this? Does it want to do? Does it want to cut down more, or do you?
I am going to have to roll for a Scythe Boy and see where he's at with his needs.
Because you did say it was satiated, right?
Yes, sated.
Sated.
I'm going to say it's kind of, you feel the energy from your scythe, kind of like it almost could go for one more cookie. You know, you kind of feel that energy of like, I could do more.
But you are different from Scythe.
Yes, but you feel like it's not going to like compel you, but you definitely feel like if you chose to go attack more, then I would be more than happy to do so, but it's not going to be as willful as it was previously. So it is up to you what you decide to do.
You know what? We'll just make a beeline for the path.
Sounds good.
We'll avoid attacking this time.
Sounds
Okay.
good. So I'm gonna say you can, as you choose to move through the space, how do you want to say you get down? From the tree?
Anime leaps down.
I just jump right down from where I am. I just jump right towards the ground.
Okay, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check. Acrobatics is used to determine how flexible you are and how well you can roll and move yourself when doing something like a jump.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's going to determine how well you land on your feet or how well you tuck and roll, quite literally.
Oh, 6. Ooh,
6.
Well, what was the actual roll on the dice? Was it a 1, or was it higher than 1?
All I'm seeing is 6 on my end. Do you have any modifiers for acrobatics? Because if not, that's just gonna be a straight roll. So if you don't have any modifiers, it will just say +0.
Yeah, plus
Let
0
me
for
look at-
acrobatics,
Let me
yeah.
look at acrobatic +0. So that is a 6 on the roll.
Yeah, so effectively what you do is you jump out of the tree and you land on your face. It's effectively...
Well. Here's what I'm gonna say. That would be a nat 1. That would be a 1. But in this case, I'm gonna say you're gonna take some damage for the fall, but it might jar you a little bit, but you will probably. But I'm gonna say maybe a con roll
To see if the wind gets knocked out of you. Because that's a possibility.
Saving throw?
Yes, con.
Yes.
The saving throw, because there is no ability save, or there's no ability for con.
18.
Okay, you're fine.
Yeah.
So you kind of just hit the ground a little bit rough, but it's not like you get gut punched from falling out of the tree.
Yeah. You will take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from the fall, but it's not gonna be it's gonna be bearable basically.
Okay.
So do the damage as
Yep.
you move your character to that space, and then,
And then-
you can move the rest of the space without interrupting.
Yes.
Okay. So he'll jump there, then all the way to the other side, right?
All the way to the other side.
Gotta move fast.
Move
Gotta go fast.
Faster to there.
There.
Yep.
Yay!
So good on you. Because the moment you did that, all the other ones around you close up the space after you moved and
Yep.
start coming your way.
Yep.
Smell you later, losers.
And since I do see that we're getting close to 11, I'm thinking this might be
Yeah.
maybe a good place to close it for tonight because I can sense that we're gonna get into a whole other mess of things.
All right, but before so good catch. So here's what I'm gonna say, is that with the with more of the fog of war, is that no? That's a different. You will see that as you kind of go on, you will see that the path continues on to the end of the map.
And deeper into the woods.
And deeper into
Oh.
the woods. So you can either say, if you want to continue your movement down the path one more turn, if you reach the other end of the map, you will win this encounter in full.
Yeah, let's keep moving. We're right there, so.
You're at extraction, right?
We're right there at the end of the level.
Yeah. Hey, hey, at least you don't have any bugs chasing me now.
Well, as you say that, the grass goes
No, oh, fuck that.
So move your character across all the way to the end, and you will up to the top, and you will succeed.
And as you run past Nexus, I'm gonna say you see the planks of wood that I mentioned earlier. You see them kind of up closer now as you run past, and you're gonna notice a little bit of something on them, but you're moving so fast you don't really see, but you do notice that seems to be planted into the dirt as you run by.
Okay.
So almost like it looks like. Hold on, maybe there's a different color. No, there's no brown apparently.
But I'm gonna say you get enough of a glimpse of it to assume that it's some sort of signage, but you aren't able to tell more than that because of how fast you are moving through.
Okay.
And
Just for the sake of things.
right, you may have seen it a little bit, and there might have been some scribble on it, but it didn't. But from where you were at and where you were, things kind of like.
And more
road
importantly,
sign, you weren't
because of
able
how
to-
you're moving through, because you didn't say you're gonna stop to look. You only see it in passing, like when you're driving in a vehicle and something
Yeah.
zooms past the window. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
Enough to notice that it's there, but you're not really gonna be able to get any information from it.
And while you're over there, you I'm gonna say you take a look back, and then when you do, you will see the moment that these ones kind of come up to there, they will pause and stop and not pursue you any further.
Okay.
And that is gonna be the ending note for this session. So when we pick up next time, we will continue your adventure deeper into the wood.
All right.
Congrats. And so now here's a question: is this enough? Or maybe he needs to do some specific things to level up. Like
I will say he is on his way, but it might be partway through next session. But I would say you did a really good job of using most of what you had at your disposal. So within the next session, expect a level up.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. But because you do have a patron, aka your scythe, there might be specific things required. But that will be for next session.
So
Okay.
congrats! Yay! You succeeded in your first session.
You did it!
I lived. Oh my god.
Okay. this, you know what this means? Is like, can you go on? Like maybe. I mean, I think.
Hold on, hold
It's
on,
not-
hold on.
I think it's
Hold
not. It's not copyrighted, so you can do like the
I can- hold
Helldivers
on.
Extractions theme, and then kind of go all the way to the end or something.
I got.
Because we gotta do it. We just got.
I was gonna see what was on the Discord soundboard for.
Liberty has seen you through.
That's what I was thinking.
Or is it democracy? And democracy has seen you through. It's one of those.
It's one of those.
It's Liberty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Liberty?
Liberty. Yeah, it's
Liberty.
Liberty has seen you through. Yeah.
Where's the thing? I could have sworn they had like a cool sound bite in here. No, they don't. Aw, man. Oh well. It's fine. Good job!
Okay, that works.
All right,
There
that'll
we
do.
go.
I mean, that would do, but I know you wanna. I wanna do the extraction theme because
Yeah.
our time through in Helldivers.
Wait, hold on. I think I can do it. Just give me a minute. Let me go to
It's just like YouTube. I think there's a thing where you go all the way.
Yeah.
Go close to the end.
I can actually hide the map now since we're done. The
Yeah,
map window. Okay, I'm going to go. Nope.
Oh, that's a nice mix. After that, if you post that to the group chat, I think that'd be a nice one to have.
Give me a minute.
No worries.
Is it right here? I think this is it.
Pickles.
No, not the ad. Good thing it's only like 5. I muted the ad. I hate that. Ads are so annoying. There we go.
Nice.
Yay.
Nicely done. So, Nexus, how was that for you?
Fun.
Yeah, we can talk while that's going. I'm
Here,
sure.
I'm actually gonna
No,
turn it
not
down
now,
on. I'm gonna turn it down on my end, so I'm not getting blasted by.
That's fine.
Might turn down on the stream side too, just so that they can still hear us talking.
That's fine.
There we go. No, that was fun. I think I'm getting.
Good, I'm
think
glad.
I think I'm getting the hang of it now.
Okay.
Good, I feel like I did my job, and I feel like Kali was a good helper.
Yeah.
So I think what you should notice as your primary element powers is necrotic, kind of sapping life energy and fire.
Yeah.
Basically, with some extra things that you can do based on, kicking, punching, grabbing, chucking, right?
Mhm.
Other things doing to make the scene interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I think you did very well for your first ever D&D session. I feel like you really rolled well, literally,
Yeah.
with the punches, and you
Yeah.
were just open to, like, experimenting, and you didn't get too nervous about anything, which I
Nope.
really appreciate. Because I know some new players can sometimes get really touchy about, oh no, there's combat and there's damage and all this kind of stuff. So I
I-
really appreciate you.
I think it helps that I've watched a bit of D&D, so
Yeah, I think that would help too. I think also you're just a really chill, cool guy, really laid back. So you were really fun to run a game for. So thank
Yeah.
you for
Yeah.
letting me get back into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem. Yeah, I don't know when the next time you're gonna be free or when you're gonna be free next, both of you, but
I'd like to try again for next Thursday, so we can make
I
this
was-
more of a.
a weekly
Pattern.
thing. We can do like a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. It just depends on your guys' schedule and how you're all feeling and whatnot.
Sounds good. So I think I'll just keep in touch with you over the next week and see if you're up to it next Thursday. And if not, we can always do the Thursday after. It's just kind of up to you as well,
Okay.
and your energy levels and all
Yep.
that.
All right.
Yep.
That sounds good.
And it's good to get these kind of basics out now.
Yeah.
Because from what I hear from a lot of other adventures, it's like they're kind of doing things like that, and they're running past swinging traps. They're running past arrows that are shooting at them, right? They're running away from a giant stone sphere that's ball that's chasing after them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
Well, it's why I tried to be very low key.
Yeah. When first starting out, yeah, you don't want to put anything too crazy, right?
Every new Helldiver's got to start out on trivial difficulty. Yes,
That's true.
I can't jump you in on Helldive. Although there are some weird Helldivers that are like, oh yeah, level 1 new player, come on, join in with us. Straight into a Helldive. Ah!
Yeah, you mean like how I had happen a couple times?
Huh.
No, what are you doing? Dragging me into level 7, level 8 missions? Are you insane?
And ad break. So
I'm actually gonna
But
be right back. I'm gonna make a washroom run, so
sounds good.
y'all can entertain chat while I'm gone.
I think
Okay.
the ads might be entertaining them more than us, but there you go.
Probably. All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes.
okay. Yeah, I think this is good. I'm really I'm really glad I was able to find a animated grass in the homebrew section.
Yes. I also like how Nexus's model just like slumps over on the desk like, ugh.
No, it's just-
Like the literal soul just left his body, just. He just like spaghetti noodle down to the floor.
yeah, where's your dead emote? I don't think I have.
I have it. It's,
Like the ghost just comes out.
yes. We're sorry. Nexus cannot come to the infernal receiver right now, but if you'd leave a message after the screams of the damned, he will return your call as soon as he can.
I think it was fine. I mean, everybody's got to learn somewhere. And I think
Like
it was good pace.
like I said, it was less about action and more about what are some things that are easy challenges, but also demonstrate what do.
I think it was still surprisingly action-packed, despite.
Anyway, yeah.
Because even if that was the case, it's like how many you're still being thrust against a good lot in terms of pure number.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, of course, it was always good in the DM's prerogative to kind of.
I'm
I'm
glad he had fun. I'm glad he had fun, and I'm glad I was able to do this. It kind of helped remind me why I got into, Dungeons and Dragons in the first place.
Mhm.
To just have fun putting a scenario and seeing what he decides to do.
I think
That's
it was also nice having one player versus more, but it's still fine if someone else
Yeah.
wants to come and be the come on,
Be the
you
voice.
know,
Oh,
buddy,
yeah, absolutely.
do this. I want you like for the because I want you to do it.
Well, like I
Oh.
said,
Oh,
I'm
Zip's like he wants to D&D. Oh well.
well, like I said, Zip, it's not off the table, but I'm gonna definitely make sure that Nexus has at least a couple more sessions under his belt before adding another player in, just so I can make sure he feels comfortable and he knows what he's doing.
But like I said, if you want to join the next one and be
Be the
Voice?
voice of Scythe, I would allow this.
so at minimum, we can do that, right?
Mhm.
Just to feel like he's participating.
Yeah, I'm
actively
totally.
in the role.
I'm
together.
totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. So he can be our guest voice actor. That'll be
Wow.
fun.
What? He's just like, right?
He's like, I cry. Cries in vampire. You're fine, Zip. I will find a way to make sure you get incorporated because I do want you to participate. And also, I want to make sure Zip has the time to learn because I've had a couple of tables where I've had newbie players in with older players and people who've been around the block a little bit, and sometimes it can be hard to DM. So I just want to make sure he's all good and is kind of feeling comfortable before we add more people. And even then, it would probably only be you. Maybe.
For now, yeah.
Because once it gets past like 2 other players, then it starts getting a little.
Yeah, I'd say tops Zip for now. And then it's just a matter of when to include
Yeah.
a character. So I guess here's the thing, Zip. While you're waiting for that, I'd say send Tiffy a DM and be in her with DMs about the idea of what you would want as your character. That you're considering adding to this kind of idea. So that you and Tiffy can be in talks, because she's the one, with the campaign space. Zip, it's fine. Zip, don't write yourself off. Come on.
Remember, I didn't say no, and it's not gonna be a big deal. I'm looking forward to having you be like the voice of Scythe for a while, and then I would love to add you. It's just I want to make sure Nexus has enough, time to get used to stuff.
And again, we need to get we need to have a character. Do you have I mean, because you said you were on Roll20. Do you have any characters on D&D Beyond? Hey.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, I think Zip's kind of getting a little away. So
Ah, okay. Oh, that was fun.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you had fun. And like I said, I wouldn't mind if Zip wants to join in next week to do the voice of Scythe if he wants.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that.
and not just be Scythe, but also if he wants to have his own character too, right?
I just said I wanted to give you a couple more sessions just to make sure you're good and ready to go and you understand how everything works. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question: how much do you have enough of a grasp, or do you feel like you need to have more of a grasp?
I understand like the basics of it.
I mean, it's up to you, If you want, if you don't mind having Zip also play, it's just I want to make sure that I'm giving you the time and space you need. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Then maybe you can talk to him in preparation for next week.
Yeah.
I think that might be helpful.
I just don't want. I just don't want him to go to kind of be a little, feel like he's being left out once again. You know.
Well, that's certainly not what I intended. You heard what I said. So that's certainly not what I intended, but
Yeah.
And if you're still around, that's not the intention at all. No, we do want you to participate in some ways, and we're not saying no to your character. It's just we need to first have a concept of what your character is, and and to see if it's even on D&D Beyond at all.
I will see about it.
And then it has to be have
I will
written
see
into
about it
any
with
idea of
him.
how to include, right?
I will see about that with him in a minute. I think for now we should wrap up.
Okay, I can probably stop the music because there. Yeah.
I think it gets to the end notes at the end of the
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys have anybody on that I could potentially raid?
I have a couple of people. I'm sure Kali also has
maybe
some people he could recommend.
Here, I'm gonna move
Um,
to. Having my character back to.
Again, I'm in the fire. Let's see. Sod's Passion Gaming is doing Batman Arkham.
Arkham or something, Origins or something.
Origins or something like that. Girl at a Desk is playing Elden Ring.
Ooh.
There are a couple of different friends of mine playing Elden Ring at the moment.
What? Wait, yeah, there's a whole lot doing Elden Ring.
Yeah, the new DLC.
Because there's new DLC.
Yeah, that reminds me. I need to start playing again so I can catch up.
And this is coming from those who haven't played Elden Ring at all.
So Nexus, it's up to you. If any of those sound interesting, we can go with those, or if we could maybe go raid someone else who's doing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, or
Let's see. Well, I want to see actually who's actually on my following list.
Good point.
Because
Let's try that.
maybe there's somebody. 'Cause I know it's not too late.
Yeah, it's not like 2 in the morning when for me there's virtually no one on. But
Yeah, no. Let's see. Oh, okay. Tonight there doesn't seem to be a lot of people on.
Kali, you got anybody you want to recommend?
Drop a few names in the group chat, and then
Yeah,
so I can just copy and paste.
Let's see. Princess Bambi is oddly doing Elden Ring. That's
You wanna go stop by them?
Yeah, I don't actually. I don't even think I'm following them. I don't think.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Who have we rated them before as Teef? Or have you?
No.
I'm trying
I
to.
know that.
Oh, maybe so.
I know that Sakura has rated her before, but I haven't. So I don't know. Up to you guys.
Oh wait, there's a goth gamer goblin
Ooh.
Yes.
doing an old school RuneScape.
Do we want to do them?
Yeah, sure. Drop their name in the group chat, and that way I can
Okay.
copy and paste.
Old school RuneScape. Interesting. I've never seen that. Huh. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah. That sounds good to me. I don't know why it won't paste in the damn chat, but yeah, it's Goth Gamer Goblin. All one word. Capital G Goth. Capital G Gamer. Capital G Goblin.
Oh, okay.
They look like they're gonna be fun to raid. So.
Let's see. Oh, they came up like as soon as I started typing the name in. So
Yeah.
I haven't.
Sounds good.
I haven't played a RuneScape in so long.
Well,
I have
then-
never played it, and that probably surprises no one.
All right. Well, then that seems like it'll be an interesting raid. Let's go for it.
Karama, there's this cool VTuber in the name of. Why do you want me to raid it to myself? That way. What is a RuneScape? It's an old game. It's a very old game.
What is a RuneScape? Well, then this will be educational for everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm for it. Let's go raid them.
Raid, okay.
All right.
Let's
well,
see.
everyone, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for
joining us.
Thank you, Ray and Nexus.
yeah, thanks for doing this. This has been fun.
You're welcome. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, I definitely want to do this. Continue this adventure.
Very nice.
It is
Well-
only just the tip.
Oh my god.
Golly.
I had to do it.
All right.
Arctic thing.
I will be back tomorrow for Borderlands 2 with the guys. I think we're getting pretty close to finishing the game. But it's probably going to be a shorter stream because one of the people has to wake up really early on Saturday, so it'll probably be a shorter collab. But if I have time afterwards, I'll probably do some other fun stuff if I feel like it. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6. So yeah.
Want to tell them to roll for initiative?
Roll for initiative
Yeah.
and don't